Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. Wake up!
Well, good morning, everybody, from the Windy City. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan, broadcasting live from the Odyssey building right here on, what street are we on?
We are on
Wacker and
Stetson.
And here we are. Another Padres loss to discuss this morning on a Tuesday. Great to be here with you, though. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of Ben and Woods. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, pal. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Benjamin, how are you?
I'm good. More importantly, how are your legs doing over there?
They're a little chilly.
I've rarely seen Woods in shorts ever in my life. This is a unique experience, but it's so hot
Stand up,
here.
give us a show.
It's so hot here that Woods has...
Oh,
there we go.
yeah, look at
Woods
that.
says,
Have you ever seen a lady with hairy legs? That's what it looks like. With my
Now, to be fair, I'm also in shorts. It's really steamy in Chicago right now.
He likes, so I keep looking over, sitting right next to me. He likes when his ride way up on his thigh. So I'm almost seeing ball.
That's,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
He doesn't mind if it gets really like,
we're like really dancing on the line there.
check out the quad.
It's the new style
It
of
is.
shorts that
Look.
they are way shorter than they
Better.
used to be.
You see how much better that is, by the way?
You've actually got good quads.
Quad guy.
Yeah,
I told you
pretty
guys I
good.
was trying to get my quads up.
Pretty good, actually.
Haven't worked out in 3 weeks.
When I was a kid, my mom would put me in like these OP shorts that were shorts, like little corduroy
Oh.
shorts to go to school.
Nut huggers, man.
And
for
then,
sure.
and then
The pocket would come out.
I wore them like 2 or 3 years too long because the kids started wearing the long shorts,
Jams.
and I would get made fun of for
They went
wearing
They went to jams.
my short shorts, and I
Yeah.
was scarred by that. So for the next 30 years, I always wore shorts down to the knee
100%.
because I didn't want to be made fun of anymore. But now I walk around and all the guys are
Every
in
dude.
really short shorts now. They are like barely covering half
Right
of the
there.
quad.
Yeah, and they all have a tattoo on their quad.
Yeah, and you can see and so when I get shorts, I look in the selection, it's all short
All
shorts
short.
now. So I've got a couple of them that I'm still uncomfortable to wear. These are kind of middle of the range, but
Those are mid.
I have one pair with me. Maybe I'll break it out tomorrow that are just embarrassingly short, even on me.
Please,
Yeah.
God, wear them to the game.
I need
tomorrow.
it.
I gotta see them. No, it's hot, man. I know people don't want to tune in and be like, it's so hot out here. It's so hot here.
It does affect the baseball playing
It does.
at Wrigley Field. No doubt about
There's
it. If
no
you watched
doubt.
last night, it wasn't just the wind, but the heat
Ugh.
also affected, I think, both teams last night in a game we'll talk about that was as frustrating as they come for the Padres this season. One that I felt they clearly should have won and did not.
If you were in town visiting from Germany and your buddy said, hey, man, let's go watch this baseball game. And you said, oh, great. And you went and watched that game, you would have said, that game was amazing. What a great, great game. Now, if you're a Padres fan, you want to die. And if you're a Cubs fan, you're elated. But these two teams, both of them, you look at them and you're like, You're both mid, both of you guys. You're having a mid off right now. Neither of you guys have got it figured out by any stretch of the imagination. But look, it's so hard too because game ends last night, and I'm having such a great time in Chicago with you guys, just having the time of our lives. And it's like, I'm not going to feel bad for that. I'm not going to feel bad for having a great time in Chicago with a bunch of tier ones, eating great food, spending great time with my buddies, my show mates, my radio soulmates in here in one of my favorite cities. And guy wrote me last night. He's like, pfft. I mean, it was like, okay, there's the final out. And it was boom, Instagram, Stammen, man. He's been making some bad decisions. And I'm laying in bed. I'm a little tipsy, too, because I had 2 glasses of wine and an old-fashioned, which is tons for me.
Yeah.
And I just wrote back, okay, hoping that would end. I shouldn't have written back at all, and I get that, right? Just don't write back. Just don't respond.
Right.
Let him just say it. But I wrote back, okay. And he goes, oh, you don't think he has? And I go, I'm in Chicago. I'm trying to enjoy myself. I go, guys got to do their jobs. You have to get hits with runners in scoring position. He makes the lineup. Those guys got to go do their jobs. That's what they have to do.
Yeah, I mean,
blame him all you want. I don't care.
We'll argue when we get to our crap up, the decision-making process. But ultimately, the Padres keep putting Craig Stammen in some no-win situations.
His
where
players.
They could make him look very smart.
Very smart.
A lot of games. By getting 1 or 2 more hits with runners in scoring position. And then Craig Stammen looks like an absolute genius.
Yeah.
But because they keep not getting key hits and not putting away teams when they could, he ends up in these situations that are kind of 50-50. And do I stick with Jason Adam going into the 9th?
Sure.
Or do I go to Mason Miller? I know people said, well, that you lost obvious, that game because you didn't go to Mason Miller. But I'm sure Craig Stammen is thinking, but we may not score in the 10th, and I may need Mason Miller in the bottom of the 10th
for
because
the swing and miss.
We need the swing and miss in the 10th. It worked for him last week. He was a genius when he did it last week. So essentially, he was trying to save it because he might need him to lock down an extra inning win. But it didn't work out.
Analysis. Oh my God, I was just going to kind of touching up on that. So, but again, I don't want to apologize for having a great time out here because that's literally what we came out here.
We did have a great time yesterday. After the show was over, we went to the Billy Goat Tavern, and grabbed lunch.
Got my Billy Goat.
Oh, you're wearing your goat shirt?
Yes, my Billy Goat shirt. Now, I'm trying to do like a reverse curse thing.
Right. I mean, if it worked for the Cubs, they eventually won. We want the Padres to eventually win one.
As the legend goes, there was a Billy Goat, I think, that
was denied entry to Wrigley Field.
No, something I can't remember. He knocked something over and something burned, and he was responsible for like burning down the city.
I think you're thinking of Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
Maybe I'm thinking of Miss O'Leary's cow. What happened to the Bill? Oh, it was a guy. They wouldn't let him in somewhere, and he did have a goat.
That's what I thought. They wouldn't let him in Wrigley Field with his goat.
O'Leary's cow started the thing.
Which makes perfect sense. Why would you let a goat into a baseball game?
Right.
And for anything to be cursed for, that really seems like a dumb thing to be cursed for.
October 6th,
All right,
1945, when Billy Goat Tavern owner William Cianis and his pet goat Murphy were ejected from Game 4 of the World Series at Wrigley Field due to complaints about the animal's odor.
So you bring a smelly goat.
Angered by the eviction, Cianis allegedly declared, "Them Cubs, they ain't gonna win no more."
Wow.
Following that incident, the Cubs lost the 45 World Series and did not return to the Fall Classic for over 7 decades.
Why does anybody go to this tavern? This guy cursed their baseball team for decades because they wouldn't let him keep his smelly goat at the World Series.
Here we go. Them Dodgers ain't going to win no more. And we'll watch and see how this goes. No, I bought a T-shirt because I run a team called the Encinitas Goats, which maybe means we're destined never to win. But it's just a really cool shirt, really good restaurant. You guys really enjoyed it. Got the double with cheese, with chips. Classic. Been there 1,000 times. Would like to go there this morning because, again, I got a little touch of a little overserved. Not too bad by any stretch, but that's a lot of booze for me. 2 glasses of wine and an old-fashioned is plenty for me.
That Billy Goat Tavern, man, that was so good. It was one of those old school places where they got the marquee menu with the sliding letters or whatever.
Yeah.
And
$187 for a burger or something. It's great.
I imagine they've been making those burgers probably the same way
since 1939 or something.
Yeah, they're plain and simple but tasty.
So good.
Very tasty.
So good.
Add your own condiments at the condiment bar.
So then after that, I realized something on the walk back from Billy Goat to the hotel. I realized that as I've been known to do, I was chafing a little. Okay? It was really hot. And the under taint area was starting to chafe.
Like the chub rub?
Yeah. So I went back and I said, well, this is great because the hotel is always a nice place to manscape. Always. Because it's not your bathroom. Right? That makes sense
for housekeeping.
Yeah, I do too. But I leave a nice tip. And so I went to my DOP kit and I had brought my manscaper essentially. And I was like, I got to clean house before we go out to Wrigley. I got to clean house. So got in and I clicked on and it was dead. It was dead. So I grabbed the very small fine tuner that you use for around the beard, very sharp and small. It's not the big, thick. So it's just a small razor, electric. It cut me, Ben, like I was stabbed. Okay? I was like, ow. So now
be manscaping with a nose hair trimmer.
So now I've got cuts.
That's your first problem.
I've got cuts and scrapes and blood, and it made it worse. So now I'm walking around. Sweat is now dripping into my wounds as I'm walking through town. I've got baby powder slathered there. But with every step, I'm like, ow. Yeah. I got too close to the sun on that one. So that's what I didn't even tell you guys. That
you did not. And then I
suffered through it.
Then we catch a ride share to Wrigley Field. By the way, we went to Philly last year. All of our rideshare drivers were talkative. We had the video of the guy talking about the Phillies and sports, and everybody in Philly was so talkative. We have yet to have a rideshare driver who has uttered a single word in Chicago.
Not
hello,
word. Thank you. Nothing. I got in the thing and I go, how you doing?
Airport said hi when he put our bags in the back.
He
didn't say a word on the drive. Is 48 minutes driving. Didn't say a word. And then, every Uber since.
Two more since. Not a word. Word from anybody.
And not like yelling even at another cab or somebody, like just silence. And so I said, okay, this is different. So we go down to Wrigley Field and get our credentials, and you start to notice the heat really seeping in at this point. It's very, very warm. The shade, you're okay, but we're walking down to Wrigley Field, and again, we're getting our credentials, so we're in pants. I'm in a navy blue T-shirt. You're in a golf shirt. Yeah. Paulie's in a T-shirt. And we are walking, and we get our credentials, and then we're like, well, where do we go? This is where did it go? This is old school, right? This is different. So we finally made our way up to the press box. And as we walk in the press box, it is Mud and Jesse and Don and Tony. And it was awesome. Then Scan comes in, and it was a family affair. And
they were the only people in there.
Everyone was so happy to see us.
We took it over. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Got to chew the fat with them. Heard some great stories, some of which we can repeat, some of which we can't. Incredible first intro to Wrigley Field, from that perspective. Looked at the press boxes and all that. And then we went down to the clubhouse. And the clubhouse, just to describe it to you guys, obviously the home team clubhouse at every ballpark is going to be bigger.
Right. And better.
More amenities. This one, and they said they've actually done, this is 5 times better than it used to be. I go, this is horrid. Like, it's tiny. It's a really, really small and narrow, tiny.
Most high school locker rooms are probably better.
No question about it. And big leaguers, I get it. You're the visitors trying to take every advantage you can. But so as soon as we get in, Crony walks in, and we got a chance to catch up with Crony. And it was so nice to see him. And he gave us some pretty good insight as to what had happened to him. We'll share some of that later. But it was really special. But I'd be remiss if I didn't tell a quick story about what else happened when we got our credentials. So go up, no problem. Guys, super nice. Got your ID. Yep.
A lot of friendly Midwesterners here.
Friendly Midwesterners. You would have been a great Midwesterner.
I probably would have.
Is it weird that I lived in the Midwest? And so he gives us our credentials. And I said, do you have a lanyard, sir? And he goes, no, I don't. We're out of lanyards. And I go, oh, okay, no problem. So just show everybody this, like an ID
almost
card.
Always at media check-in give you a lanyard because the press credential is designed with the hole to hang around your neck so you can get access. They can clearly see that you're not trying to be somewhere where you shouldn't be.
And there's no peel off where you can just slap it here. So you got to carry it around.
Plastic card.
Right.
Designed for a lanyard.
So this is wild. So there's no lanyards. So I asked the guy at the front, any lanyards? No lanyards. Okay, so there's no lanyard. We walk in. Ben asked the security guy, you guys have any lanyards? Guys, like, I don't have any lanyards. I'm a security guy. Why would I have lanyards? Okay, no problem. Show him the thing, give it to him, go up to the press box, see all the fellas. All of a sudden, I lose track of time. I lose track of Ben. We go downstairs and we're going to go into the clubhouse. And I look over and I go, hey, where'd you get that lanyard? And he looked at me, he's like, what? And I go, you have a lanyard. And why did Paulie and I not have a lanyard? And he goes, go ahead, what'd you say?
I got one from Dave Marcus.
So again,
I knew you'd be prepared. So I went and asked him. I felt very uncomfortable without having the credential around my neck on a lanyard. Everybody's wearing them up in the press box in the clubhouse. And while, yes, you can show, a handheld card to get the access, you will still run into security guards. And I didn't want them looking at me and going, why is this guy in here without some proper credentialing? And the lanyard and holding it around your neck is what gives you like the authority to be down underneath Wrigley Field. And by the way, I've been to many, visiting ballparks and Petco Park. And usually there's like separate areas for the media to enter. When you walk through the clubhouse, and we did, and then walk downstairs to the dugout, we passed right through like the batting cages and the training areas. And I looked at Woods and Paul and I go, we are not supposed to be here. I know teams. They do not allow us into these areas in their stadiums. They never let us go there in Petco Park. And they said, no, this is the only way. You have to go through the batting cages and then take a turn here and you'll end up in the dugout. I'm going, I want to be wearing my credential when I'm walking through all these areas.
Well, luckily you were. I wasn't, and Paul
Dave only
wasn't.
had one, so I took advantage. If he had three, I would have brought lanyards for everybody.
You would have kept
I had to give
three
it back
for all 3 days.
I had to give it back at the end of the day because Dave wanted his lanyard back.
So he goes in, and again, mind you, Mud and Jesse, we're sitting around a campfire, and they're telling stories, and they are telling like amazing stories. And this dude slinks off to the back office, doesn't tell anyone, like he's going back to get, at some massage parlor, just disappears.
Yeah.
Comes back wearing it. Didn't say, hey guys, he's like, if I wear it, they're not going to notice. We're standing down there, and I looked at him and I go, where did you get a lanyard? Oh, I got one from Dave Marcus. I go, oh, they didn't have any more for your partners. He goes, no, I have to give this one back. I go, you really went in there and bothered him to get his lanyard for what? Why
just to go downstairs, and then you're going to walk all the way back up there just to give it back to him?
So we go down, we hobnob, we say hello to the players and everything else, and it's hot. We go on the field, which was so magical and special. I'm so happy we got to do it. I was pinching myself, sweating like a pig out on that field. So it's done at this point. We're done. Put in like an hour. I go, let's go. Let's get out of here. I was like, yeah, let's go. We're walking up. Ben goes, oh, I have to go back up to the press box. I go, why? He's like, I got to get my lanyard back. I was like, you didn't have to. You could have just carried it around and said, look, here's my lanyard. Here's my pass. This is what I'm dealing with. So you think it would stop there. It doesn't stop there. No. This morning, whole crew meets down in the lobby. 7
I'm glad you brought this up. I was
7 a.m. this morning. Hot. Tired, everyone's a little hungover, pissed off about the loss. So we make our way down to Starbucks. packed with people.
Slammed.
7 o'clock in the morning, right?
Downtown Chicago, 7 a.m.
7 a.m., bro.
On a Tuesday.
What do you think? Walk in, get in line. I'm looking at the menu. I get up to the counter. I go, I'll do what I got. I look to my left, and this creep is standing there with a cup full of coffee, and he's smiling at me as he drinks it.
Like a little deviant.
I go, what did you do? He goes, I ordered ahead. I'm like, oh my God, you didn't ask us? He didn't even mention it.
I ordered before I even saw you
Paulie.
this morning. I ordered from my room and scheduled to pick it up. I knew when we were leaving, so I just said, I'm just going to get this done so I can just walk in and grab my coffee.
Am I in this world alone? Are we in this world? His face, when I turned, he looked at me, he goes, he did the eyebrow thing where he's like, already got mine.
Yep.
And I was
Why is it a crime to be efficient?
Because it's selfish.
It's selfish.
How on what planet do you not text your coworkers, your buddies, hey, I'm gonna place an order ahead so it's ready for pickup? What do you want?
What would you have? What would you like? It'll be waiting for us when we get
tomorrow.
There.
No.
You made it very clear.
It's every man
you're
for
on
himself
your own on this trip.
I'm booking my own Uber today. Like you guys book your own. We'll just
25 guys, 25 guys, 25 cabs. Now this is your idea.
I know you would. You're not an order ahead guy. You have never been an order ahead guy.
Exactly. So if somebody does it for me, I'm all in. Ooh, good idea. I would have said, oh yeah, because I know my order. I know what I want. I don't mix it up really. And I said, man, it's more of the face. The look at me, and he had a drink, and he looked at me, and he goes, and raised his eyebrows like,
I swear to God, his pinky was up in the air.
And he looked. It was, if I could read his eyes, it said this: "Oh no, I'm good. I've got mine." And I looked at him, and I go, "Oh, okay, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be." So this is what we're dealing. You got to remember, you're a part of a team. We are a team. That means if one of us doesn't get a lanyard, nobody gets a lanyard. If one of us orders coffee, get coffee for everyone.
What sports did we all play growing up?
Baseball, football, basketball, golf. Hey, you're such a golfer.
I'm more of a lone wolf when it comes to my team sports.
Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so good. It's so funny.
Ray says Chicago is spelt with an I, not a we.
That's true. Chicago. Yeah, it's not Chicago. It's Chicago. I-town. My town. What else? Let's see. So that was
dinner last night with the tier ones. So they arrived while we were at Wrigley.
Yeah.
But then we got back about an hour before the game started and met everybody at dinner downtown, Osteria Via Stato.
Amazing. Which
was fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't know what to expect. The meal was all set for us. We had the big party room in the back.
Unbelievable.
We got there. Yeah. Past appetizers, drinks, and then went in for appetizers and pasta course and meat course. Oh, it was delicious. A really good ricotta cheesecake for dessert. Everything I had was sensational. It seemed like the tier ones really enjoyed the meal as well. We got to meet. I think I met almost everybody on the trip. There's probably a few that I didn't say hello to, but we went around to all the tables like we were the bride and the groom.
Yes.
Thanking everybody for coming, which we do appreciate everybody who's spend some money and some time to come out on this trip with us.
It was
really
unreal.
great. Really great group we've got here.
An incredible group, and blows you away when somebody grabs you and tells you how much you mean to them and what the show has done for them, and it's really why you're in this business, right? Like if this business is fun. If it's not that fun if nobody's listening, and if it's not cutting through, it's not very fun. And I've been parts of things like that before. This one, for whatever reason, is cut through and means a lot to people, and that means a lot to me. So everyone that came up and said hello last night, you guys were awesome. And there's so many tier ones in town anyway. They're blowing up my messages asking, when can we meet up tonight? And I said, tonight is actually the night we will do a meetup. We scoped it out yesterday. Now, the concourses there are very thin. But we're going to make it work. So as soon as the last out is made in the third, okay, if you're listening, you're at Wrigley, you want to meet. Last out is made in the third, start heading your way to behind home plate, the concourse behind home plate. Deal? Yeah. And then we will say hello. We will shake hands. We will take pictures. Ben will order stuff, not get you any. Just gets things for himself.
Yep.
And Ben will actually just take pictures of himself while we're all taking pictures together. He's in the corner, just dropping
I'll
selfies.
have to pick up my pre-ordered food at the concession stand. Did you electrocute yourself?
No, I smashed my finger between it.
Right.
I was trying to get comfortable here in these shorts. But it was just a beautiful.
People want to know if I'm giving out hugs on this trip.
Oh yeah.
I've given some nice, good handshakes. Jordan in North Carolina did assault me quickly with a hug last night at dinner. That's fine. And then Of course, Ben Fritz, when we were at Petco Park, saw me and gave me a big hug, as he
gives you
always
that big
does.
old bear hug.
Padres bullpen coach Ben Fritz is, he hugs me a lot, more than really any of my family members, honestly.
He's the best, man. He's the best. I said it at dinner last night, talking to the people at my table. I said, I understand that these guys make an inordinate amount of money that none of us will ever be able to fathom making. I do understand that. I'm not putting it aside. I understand it. It's great. It's a beautiful luxury that they have. I would not want to have played baseball yesterday when we were down in the clubhouse, by the way, which is supposed to be nice. Probably 87 degrees in there in the clubhouse. You saw these guys putting their clothes on. They got in at 1:00 in the morning, and you saw them putting their clothes on. They were like, oh my God, oh God, oh God, oh God. It sucked the energy and the life out of you.
We went down into the dugout and got to walk out onto the warning track.
The dugout was like an oven. You couldn't sit on the padding.
There was like a sliver of shade in the dugout because just where the position of the sun was at that time.
Yeah, it's got the southern exposure. It's just bad on the first
We stepped onto
side.
the field. It took a couple pictures and videos. Like, oh my God, like I'm in this cathedral. This is amazing. And that lasted for about 30 seconds. And I go, it's too hot. We were sweating just walking out onto the field. And I go,
gnarly.
They got to play a game here.
They got to play a game.
And then the fun thing I thought about Wrigley that never been here before, the walk from the dugout for the players, the walk back to the locker room is up like 4 flights of stairs. It's like
it is.
I think it's like 48 stairs or something like that. And they're steep stairs.
They're steep. And we were walking down and I heard somebody talking in a different language, sprinting down the stairs. I'm like, oh God, somebody's going to get hurt. I don't even know who it was. They just blew right past us.
I think the thought was, how sucky would it be to like lose in a walk-off and then have to walk up those stairs, which is exactly what happened last night to the Padres.
Yep. We'll talk about it next.
Yeah, we will get to our Padres crap-up. We'll set the menu for our Tuesday edition of Ben and Woods here in Chicago, broadcasting live from our remote Bill House studios. We know how. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
so let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We will crap up yesterday's 3-2 loss to the Cubs in just a moment. Highlights, lowlights. As you said, Woods, it actually was a very interesting, entertaining game that unfortunately did not go the Padres' way.
I mean, very entertaining. When's the last time you saw a ninth inning like that? And the fact that you thought you had it, you thought you've just dodged a major bullet.
By the way, not a terrible game for the Padres in terms of pitching, offense, 11 hits.
11 hits.
They just didn't get them at the right time, unfortunately.
Yesterday it was defense. Defense let them down yesterday, and a guy that you wouldn't really expect to let you down defensively did. And But yeah, the challenges. You know, the little things, the margins. The Padres are not winning on the margins right now, and you nailed it. I mean, they're hitting the ball all over the yard. Just couldn't get anything done. Could not drive any of those guys in. How many guys left on last night? Like 11?
I know they went 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position, and only one of those 2 drove in a run. So
crazy.
Just a lot of opportunities, not a lot of cash in. We will talk about it coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. We've got Don't Do This in our MLB Reach Around. And then in our 8 o'clock hour, right after we play Take on Woods at 8:20, Jesse Agler, the Incorporator, will join us. Now, Jesse, we saw yesterday and invited him, if he'd like, to join us here at our Odyssey Chicago station. And he actually gave it a good 10 seconds of thought.
He did.
And I think he thought, yeah, that would be cool. I could do my run like I do most mornings. And
like me, I do the same thing.
It's like a perfect distance. And then he thought, oh, but it's really, really hot and sticky. I don't think I want to run in this weather. So he'll probably just join us on the phone, but we will give him his Incorporator word. We are on the letter N this week for Jesse.
Okay.
We'll give him his word that begins with N.
His word that starts with the letter N.
We gave him an M word last week, and this week we give him a word that begins with N.
Foods that start with the letter Q.
Coming up at 8:30 this morning.
Words that start with the letter N.
That's right.
In our 9 o'clock hour, Paulie's got a round of reports, some headlines. We have some tickets to give away. Bill Burr, comedian Bill Burr, is coming to town at Pechanga Arena on July 31st. And Paulie says the rest of this week, which is really for us just today and tomorrow, we've got tickets to give away to Bill Burr. So you got your chance to win those later in the program today. And we will wrap things up at 10 o'clock. We've got pizza on the menu today, deep dish and tavern style.
Okay, good.
I think they have both. Going to one of the Lou Malnati's for lunch. And then we will be at the game tonight with our big group at Wrigley Field and hopefully a little better outcome for your San Diego Padres.
Still full from dinner. No joke. I'm like, that was a huge dinner. I'm still full. I also had a big breakfast. I don't know what I'm talking about that I got for myself. Waited in line to get it. Yeah.
And Jesse and all of our guests appear on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking. It is better. Kyle's back in the studio. Good morning to you, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
We will check traffic. And thank you, Kyle. He will get that done for us. And then we'll play our Padres crap up, talk about it on the other side here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
North County, Oceanside to Carlsbad, no problem. Southbound on the 5 to Encinitas, into and through San Diego, you're fine. Joey Vlasny with Odyssey San Diego traffic.
This update is brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Speeding catches up with you. Worse, in a crash, no one makes sense.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
How did things play out in yesterday's game?
Supremely stupid.
It's time for the Padres
Crap Up
with Ben and Woods. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, here's something to cheer you up. The rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
This game has got to come to an end.
And a ground ball sharply to shortstop. Swanson going to go to third. Bregman will tag for Mead, but Bogarts comes in to score. So an RBI fielder's choice, and the Padres do have the first run of the night. It's 1-0. Bogart swings, hits it in the air down the left field line. That is a fair ball, and it's going to go into the corner. And Duhart trots home from third. France will be held at third, and Bogarts into second with an RBI double. The Padre lead is now 2-0. On the strike, Canning delivers, and Conforto lines it over Cronenworth into right field. Fernando charging it. Suzuki will come in to score. It's a 2-out RBI single for Michael Conforto. Cubs are on the board. It's 2-1. Suzuki swings, skies it into right center field. Merrill looking for it in the gloaming, having trouble. Can't make the catch. Yes, he can, as he falls forward at the very last moment. Swanson will tag and score to tie the game. A sac fly, 2-2. And boy, great job by Jackson Merrill to somehow stay with it and make the play at the very last second. It swung on, hit in the air to left field and deep. Bowen's going back. He's on the warning track at the wall. He leaps up against the ivy. He had it and lost it, and the Cubs will win. Crow Armstrong comes in to score as Jace Bowen nearly made a magnificent catch up against the ivy and the bricks, but the ball got away, and with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, Seiya Suzuki will win it for the Cubs.
Kind of battling out a little bit, leaving guys on base, not getting that big hit, and then they finally came through with the big hit there at the end. A lot of great plays in between and some questionable ones also, but our bullpen pitched really good tonight. Griffin came out, threw the ball really good, so positive day for the pitching front.
Kind of with you ran into a couple outs. The guys left on base. Maybe there was an out or two that could have been made. What do you think was the big thing tonight?
Yeah, I think it was like a lot of little things, honestly. That culminated in the last. They, made a play at the end. We made a play right before that. That was a really good play, and then almost made another one there at the end that would have been exceptional. Unfortunately, the wind was blowing out just a little bit and probably blew that ball a couple feet. And in the end, we lose a close ball game.
There's actually a really good summation by Craig Stammen right there of that game in a nutshell. Some good plays, some not so good plays, some big hits, some not so big, opportunities to score that didn't turn out. And then both teams made some plays at the end, and the Cubs made one last one and got the win.
Yeah, there was a lot of little things I think that drove you crazy if you're a Padres fan. Yeah, earlier in the game, and it does get you to that point where it's tied there in the 9th inning. And Manny, there was a weird play. I'd never seen a play like this, but there was a leadoff single in the 6th. Horner took off running on full count, because he's going to run, try to stay out of the double play. Grounder goes up the middle. Manny was shifted over. Xander kind of got in his way as he was like, oh, Manny's got a beat on it. He's got the ball. Kind of crossed in front of him. No problem. Manny just needs to stop, throw to first, get the out, knowing that he was already running. He's going to be safe at second base. He didn't. He ran over to second while he was already on the base, standing firmly on the base, and tagged him, then turned and threw, and it was too late. And I go, what was that? I don't know. So he was hoping that Horner was going to round the base on the throw, and he would try to get him napping instead of just taking the easy out. So again, when it comes to Manny and his baseball IQ, you kind of have to defer most of the time. But that was one of those plays where it's like, bro, take the out. Just get the out.
It's a good point.
You don't have to be a genius all the time.
It's not, Manny is a very smart baseball player.
And he knows that guy is likely to turn.
But other big leaguers are also smart. They are. And they know Manny's tendencies.
That's right. They know Manny's smart.
And they're going to be a little more careful around him. If someone's going to do kind of the hidden ball, whatever, Manny's going to try it.
Yeah.
Just like we saw with the infield fly rule thing.
Yes.
He tries things. And if you're a well-prepared team, you're also prepared for Manny Machado. Hey, keep an eye on him. He's going to pull stuff over there, and you don't want to be the one who gets caught napping. And in this case, it didn't help the Padres and Manny Machado. I do think
it didn't hurt. Right?
No, it didn't hurt that inning. But I think you have to start where Craig Stammen started, though. Griffin Canning was decent, and which is much better than he's been in many of his starts. Right. Watching the pitches moved well. He got some swing and miss. He got a little unlucky on a couple of soft hits. Did give up, an RBI single to Conforto. And then Craig Stammen took him out after 4 1/3 innings. Probably the right decision, but I can't blame Griffin Canning for being taken out of a game. After giving up, some soft contact, and they went to the bullpen. I don't know that it's the wrong decision. I will give Griffin Canning credit for what he did contribute for the game yesterday.
I do think it's a real drag when you wake up this morning and you've lost that game and you've burned your most elite bullpen arms.
Of course.
Right? That's always when you're chasing, when you're chasing a win like that. But, at the end of the day, I don't blame Craig for that. I blame the offense for once again putting them in a position and having opportunities to break that game wide open and not taking them, not getting the job done. Freddie Fermin left a village on base last night. And, the other thing, too, is I said to you, we were going down the elevator. I'm like, Fermin's the best option. And you're like, there's nobody left. Durant, you want Durant up there? I mean, we desperately need a threat off the bench, at least for a late pinch hit. Gavin Sheets, obviously, against a righty, got his opportunity. Didn't go great. But there's just nothing there.
Yeah, Freddie Fermin had a tough game. He did have a hit early, but he made a base running mistake on Fernando's RBI fielder's choice there when the Padres took a 1-0 lead, which did potentially cost them a run because Samad Taylor ended up getting a single, but Freddie wasn't there on second base to come around and score. And then, as you said, I think he left 2-on, and the bases loaded the next 3 times he came to the plate. Once was with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. The Padres didn't get that run in. But they also had some, and Miguel Andujar took a couple of good swings. Xander Bogaerts had a couple of hits. Ty France had another hit. I mean, they had 11 hits in this game. They had plenty of opportunities to score a ton of runs, and they just didn't. Cubs had a few chances, but they were seemingly aided by their conditions in their ballpark, by the wind. They had a couple of, where they staggered a bit but made the play. How Jackson Merrill even made that catch on what was the sacrifice fly. He saw that as late as any ball I've ever seen caught, I think, in an outfield in baseball.
He got to where he thought it was going to be. Then he looked over at Fernando, the flash look, as Mud calls it. While the ball is dropping rapidly, he looked over at Fernando. Fernando's like, I'm not on you. And Jackson looks up and catches it like a football, like a punt. And thank God he did it. But yeah, it was we were the San Diego Salvagers. We are now the San Diego Squanderers, according to Jordan. That's a decent nickname. Yeah, again, you look up at the box score and you're like, 11 hits, man, we must have raked. No, nobody comes through with runners in scoring position. You saw them play some small ball early with Crony getting one down. Didn't really mind that. 9-hole lefty. First 2 guys get on. You move it over for the top of the order. I think they got a run out of it. So I got no problem with that. But it's just an offense, man, that is dying to break through, and they just haven't done it yet. And really that's what hurt this game. I mean, I know there's base running miscues and there's bad challenges and all that, but it boils down to, and has boiled down to, most of the season, the offense. The only game we got bodied was the Saturday night game against the Dodgers. Yeah. But every other game is a run, 2 runs. It's on them. They know it's on them. They got to come through.
Adrian Morejon was good again out of the bullpen. Jason Adam got through that first inning, and then we talked about it a little bit in the open. Craig Stammen decides to bring him out to start the bottom of the 9th in a 2-2 game.
Yeah, and again, assuming Jason Adams going to get you 3 outs there, maybe even 2, and you can go to Mason Miller for 1, and then you get the guy on second, and he's the swing and miss guy, and you can limit the damage.
He gets a ground ball from Dansby Swanson to Manny to start the inning. Manny doesn't get a hold on the ball as he makes the transfer. It wouldn't have been an easy play. That's why they gave him a single, but usually one that Manny makes. He said after the game, that's one I usually am going to make. Yep. So a little bad luck there. Then PCA kind of dunks one in just to left field in front of Samad Taylor. So now it's first and second. And this is the point where now we have to go to Mason Miller for the swing and miss. Unfortunately, Mason Miller didn't get any swing and miss, really. Gave up the single to Bregman, which loaded the bases. And then you had great play by Jace Bowen. I'm sorry, it was Bowen in left field, because he made the nice, great throw home on this potential game-winning sacrifice fly. Swanson was running where he should, like to try to, possibly get hit by the first hop, but great tag by Freddie Fermin at home. It was really well done, and you kind of had that hope. All right, Padres can get out of this. There's 2 outs now. This is a great chance. And then, of course, Seiya Suzuki, who really was the Padre killer in the game yesterday, took a slider from Mason Miller. It wasn't a good slider by Mason Miller. It was high and inside. One of very few hittable pitches that Mason Miller throws. And hits what on most days would be a routine fly to left. But unfortunately, the wind was blowing out, and it got all the way to the ivy, and that's a tough play in the ivy for Jace Bowen. We saw Samad Taylor earlier in the game on a routine fly to left, essentially unable to make that play. Led to another Cubs run. Any of those things don't happen. Padres win that game yesterday.
Something about that ivy, man. When you're out there, there's something about it, because you get near it and you start to panic. There's no question, and it's captivating when you walk into the stadium and look at it. So I can only imagine what it's like playing out there, knowing that there is still a brick wall behind there, right? Or like one thin layer of padding and a brick wall. Yeah, Samad Taylor, that's a play he makes at Petco, standing up. I mean, no problem. Same with Jace Bowen, makes that play. Get tangled in the ivy, game's over. It was an excruciating way to lose a baseball game last night.
I can see why Mason Miller's afraid to spike the slider. Like, you throw it too low, PCA run. I mean, the game's over. PCA runs home, and it's easy score on a wild pitch. So
just lead on that 103, man.
You have to be a little more careful. But again, I'm not going to criticize Craig Stammen for not going to Mason Miller when that strategy worked for him last week. Save him for the 10th inning when there's a runner on second already. You know you're going to a 10th to win. You can't win the game in the 9th. You've already not scored. So if you're winning the game, it's going to the 10th. You're hoping to score your run from second, and then you're hoping Mason Miller keeps the runner from second from scoring. That's the strategy. I think it's a good strategy. It didn't work, and Mason Miller wasn't, as effective as we've seen in the past.
That's a strategy we actually asked him about weeks ago. Hey, wouldn't it make more sense, Craig, to save Mason Miller for that swing and miss opportunity? Who's more likely to strand a runner on second base on the planet than Mason Miller? And, he said, yeah, we've thought about it. And he actually did it. It worked. This time it didn't. And Manny's got to make that play. Manny makes that play. It's a whole different ballgame. Jason Adam maybe gets through that inning. Mason Miller comes in, closed down the 10th inning, and it's over.
But Cubs have had the magic. I think that's their 10th walk-off win of the season. They've won a lot of close games like that, so they look comfortable in that situation. First walk-off loss for the Padres all season long.
Crazy.
On the road, which is, probably because you have Mason Miller, and he's made it really difficult for teams to score on you in the bottom of the 9th inning or the bottom of the 10th inning, when you're on the road in a close game like that.
And I'm telling you, man, it's all connected because, when you look up and it's the 6th inning and you're like, oh, here comes Morahone. Why? Because you have to put him in. It's a super high leverage situation. It would be nice to get through 5 1/3, 5 2/3, 6 1/3 before you had to start going into those big 3 at the end and really more like big 2.5 right now. But today you'll have some options in guys like Wandy Peralta, David Morgan. You got some arms that can get guys out, but the starters got to get deeper in the game.
Yeah, you said what hurts is, you chase the win with your higher leverage guys. And the Padres have done that a few times, and it's usually led to a win. This time it didn't, which makes it hurt even more.
It's like a double loss.
They did it last week in Game 2 against the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
They chased. They won. Now they left J.P. Sears with not much behind him. Guess who's pitching today? J.P. Sears back on the mound. So they'll need him again. He's not quite as desperate as the last time when Griffin Canning only got 2 outs, but
Morgan's hurt. Yeah, I forgot. Went on the IL.
Yep.
Elbow inflammation. So David Morgan's out. Bradley went 15 pitches last night. He's nasty. Adrian went 22 last night. Jason Adam went 24. He's probably down. Kyle Hart only went 12. He could probably give you some today. You got Yuki, you got Wandy, you got Marinaccio.
If you have a lead in the 9th, you'll see Mason Miller again.
Oh,
today,
yes.
I think
7 pitches.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
So that's what we've got set up for you. Our baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. When we come back, hour number 2, I would like to talk about Jake Cronenworth's return. We had the opportunity to chat with Jake quite extensively in the Padres clubhouse at Wrigley Field before the game yesterday and really get some insight into, the injury, the concussion, and the process of coming back. It was tough for Jake. But,
pretty dark, man.
It's glad. I didn't think he'd be back for another week or so, but he was back yesterday. It was great to see him. We'll talk about it coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Day number 2, hour number 2, Ben and Woods live in Chicago, Illinois, from our Odyssey Chicago studios here on 97.3 The Fan, broadcasting live from our remote Bill House studios. We know how. There was some good World Cup action yesterday. We caught some of the penalty kicks, certainly plenty of drama. Once you get to the knockout stage, it turns into essentially the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, soccer version. And it's a weird take. I agree with soccer purists who say that a penalty kick shootout is a really lousy way to decide a game that you played 120 minutes of soccer and then it goes to a free throw shooting contest or a home run derby to determine who actually wins the game. It's a coin flip. It's a guessing game between the goalie and the guys shooting. It doesn't really determine which team is better or deserves to win, but man, is it entertaining to watch. Once you sit down and you are watching a penalty kick shootout, you are locked in. You are never turning the television off during a penalty kick shootout. I honestly don't even care if it's the World Cup. You got two teams, and they're just going back and forth like that. It is unbelievable theater when you watch it. And, man, that game between Paraguay and Germany, where Paraguay is the just massive underdog. I mean, massive underdog against Germany. They won the World Cup, 16 years ago, world power. They think they've got a chance to win it this year. Paraguay, I mean, U.S. beat them 3-1 pretty handily in group play. They just barely sneak in to the round of 32, but they end up 1-1. They get it all the way to penalty kicks, but Germany is considered the penalty kick masters.
Right.
They
like
never,
us with runners and scoring
they
positions.
hadn't lost a penalty kick shootout since 1976. So basically we were one the last time Germany in a major international tournament lost a penalty kick shootout. And then Paraguay's goalie makes a stop and makes another one. And they're ahead. And they're down to like the last three kicks. And all Paraguay needs is one kick to go their way. Either make one of two or Germany misses. And they miss. Germany makes. Paraguay misses. And all of a sudden, Germany's back in it. They go back to the sixth round and going, oh my God, Germany is going to survive. This is unbelievable. And then the German kicker knocks it 40 meters over the goal, and Paraguay scores to win. And you see them celebrating.
It sailed it, man. And I've also seen the take of, hey, if you don't want it to get to penalty kicks, then play better. You know what's coming at the end. You know what's coming. You don't want it to get there if you're Germany. You probably do want it to get there if you're Paraguay. You play a phenomenal game.
That is a huge victory. You'll take the coin flip or even the 1 in 5 chance of beating Germany in a penalty kick shootout because you can't really beat them on the field over the long haul. So
the whole long haul,
absolutely. And so huge, stunning upset, the biggest one probably of the tournament because it comes in the knockout stage. And then you had another one last night, Morocco beating the Netherlands. A lot of sad people in orange going home after their team gets knocked out in penalty kicks. Morocco had to score in the 91st minute to score extra time, so a heartbreaker for the Dutch. And then, of course, earlier in the day, Brazil scored in the 5th minute of stoppage time to beat Japan in a really good game. So we've had 4 knockout games so far. The Canada win that came in the 92nd minute.
Sunday.
Brazil in the 5th minute of stoppage time, and 2 penalty kick shootouts. So the first 4 out of the first 16 round of 32 games have been phenomenal entertainment. The World Cup is kind of killing it this year in terms of just, watchability, I would say.
Good drama. I mean, there's
the stars have come to score goals. You get Messi goals. You get Harry Kane goals.
The U.S. is through.
The U.S. is doing some things. I mean, I don't think you could have scripted it much better for an entertaining soccer tournament, at least for the lay soccer fans, like the casuals. So, we'll watch World Cup. We'll watch the SDFC, but, we're not getting up on Sunday morning at 4 a.m. to watch our team. This has been a fun tournament, I think, for everybody so far.
Yeah, it has. I think it's really put its best foot forward at this point. So the USA plays tomorrow. At what time here?
7 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock back in San Diego. So we'll be done with the day game for the Padres tomorrow. And hopefully everyone will get a chance to see the USA taking on Bosnia and Herzegovina in a must-win match to start their knockout phase. Today's big game is Mexico is taking on Ecuador.
At what time?
6 o'clock San Diego time, so 8 o'clock here. Tough matchup drawing, considering Mexico dominated their first 3. They're like Ecuador is actually pretty good. We did not draw an easy pushover in the first knockout round. We've got Ivory Coast, Norway coming up at 10 a.m. this morning, San Diego time. And then France, Sweden is an interesting one, with France now not looking at Germany in the next round. They've got Paraguay, the team that a lot of people think is the favorite. Their path just got even easier, at least to the quarterfinals, with Germany being eliminated. So that's this afternoon. So that's your World Cup schedule for a Tuesday morning.
Well, happiest birthday to our beloved Purple in the chat. He is there 6 to 10 every single day.
Hi, Purple.
He's one of my favorites. He's very sarcastic, and I love him. So happy birthday, buddy. Hope you have a great one, and I hope you enjoyed Ben's World Cup reach around.
Happy birthday, Purple.
Purple.
Happy returns to Jake Cronenworth as well.
Very much so.
And we wanted to talk about getting to see him yesterday. We were on our way, I think, to the ballpark at Wrigley when we saw the alert from the Padres that they had made a couple of roster moves, bringing Bradley back and then activating Jake Cronenworth after just 3 games. And I felt kind of silly because yesterday on the show, I said, I don't think we'll see him back for another week or so.
No, that was last week you said that.
Well, it didn't take that long. It took him just 3 days of El Paso, and he felt like he was good enough to return. Now, Jake did say, took a lot of at-bats in Arizona off live pitching, and he said off the traject machine that Josh Stein told us about last Friday on our management report. He said, no, we don't only have one traject machine. We have 2 of them, one at Petco and one at our spring training complex in Peoria. And Jake said, took a lot of at-bats, getting my timing back. But Woods, my heart went out to him as he was explaining to us what he had to go through for weeks, and not just kind of knowing when these concussion symptoms would subside.
I think, to simply put it, he said it was, quote, the worst period of my life.
Yeah, he said it was the worst month or 2 of my life. And so I asked him, I said, so you get smoked in the face. What'd you feel the next day? He goes, I was sore. He goes, I woke up and was like, all right, I feel okay. They were in Colorado, went to Colorado. He goes, felt like crap kind of in the middle of the day. I laid down. He goes, I woke up, I felt better. I go in the lineup, I get 2 knocks. So I'm like, I'm fine, right?
I
and these guys want to play.
Yeah, no, I think he said, I walked onto the field at Coors, and it was blinding.
Yeah, blinding,
and that was weird. And, so he was suspicious.
He laid down.
Is something wrong with me? But then he went, and as you said, he got 2 hits. And he goes, I guess I must be okay, because I couldn't have a concussion and go out and get 2 hits. And he said, if I hadn't gotten a hit there, it's Coors Field. I see it well. I swing well there. My swing felt good. I probably would have instantly known. And he said, I think the 2 hits there kind of messed with me because it made me think I was okay. And, I thought it was just the altitude, and I was just maybe tired. We just started kind of the grind of the season and after spring training and everything. And I just thought maybe it was normal. So then they went to Mexico City, and it's like, I'm still feeling the altitude. And he just wouldn't kind of accept that it was an effect of getting hit in the face by that fastball.
Yeah, so finally the time comes around when he's like, all right, something's wrong. I'm not myself. I can't see. My vision's blurred. So he goes to the Padres, and, they're on him every day. And I asked him, I'm like he's like, oh, no, I'm basically telling him, no, I'm good. But that's kind of who he is. That's how a lot of these guys are. They want to be in the lineup. And finally, the Padres are like, no, dude, you're out. So they're evaluating him, and he said he had to get on it was like the treadmill that lifts, the incline treadmill, and they put it on 5. He'd walk for a few minutes. They put it on 10, and then 15. He goes, so I can do my 20-minute treadmill. He goes, my heart's racing. I get off the treadmill, and the floor falls out from under me. It just, the floor disappears, and he just grabs onto the trainer. So it goes on like this. And he said he would wake up and he's not himself, and he knows he's not himself. And he's like, look, part of it is because I'm a baseball player. I love to play. I love to be with my teammates. I love to be on the field. I love the work. And he's like, I couldn't do it. So I'm irritable. He's also, my mind is making me irritable. And he told me a story. He said, I had to come in before these guys got in every day and get my work in, my aerobic work and riding the bike and things like that. And he goes, the worst part about all of it is, he said, it was the irritability, and you're not yourself. I knew. He goes, I didn't laugh at anything for 2 months. Nothing was funny. Nothing was interesting. Nothing, caught my attention. He goes, I'd have the game on. I'm just sitting there. I'm miserable. He said he was in one time, the trainer's room at 11 o'clock in the morning, and he's on the exercise bike. He goes in, Herman walks in, and he's just being Herman, doing what he normally does. and he cranks the music up. And it's like, boop, 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 and he's on the bike. And he goes, at that moment, I knew, I got to get out of here. He tried to break the handlebars. He was so mad. He was like so irritated. Wow. And he's like, and he's like, I got to go. And he left. And it was just it was like, so I told him, I go, hey, you know what having kids is like? It's like having somebody walk in and turn the music up all the time. I go, it's the exact same thing. You're doing something and the kids walk in and turn the music up. And he's laughing. And he said it was weird. He goes, I couldn't even hit off the tee or flips. I was like, welcome to the club, dude. This is how it feels for the rest of us.
When he talked about like going out and taking ground balls, he's like, the standard, like simple, basic ground ball work that I have done my entire life. He goes, it got to the point where it was like the yips. He goes, I couldn't feel the ball.
See it.
Like I couldn't see it. I'd move over to my left and it would just like hit off my arm or something.
Crazy,
this is after he they had diagnosed him and he had the concussion.
Yeah.
And what struck me is he said his two eyes weren't working together.
Right.
Like the brain wouldn't coordinate the images. So he kind of had the left image and the right image. And it would cause like, he'd look at the picture and he would kind of flutter blurry. Or it just would, it just wasn't matching up.
Pretty fun to hit
at the same
like that,
time.
I bet.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like really fun to feel ground balls at 106 and hit. So anyway, we chatted with him for a while and he said, man, I feel great. He does now eye exercises every single day to like strengthen his eyes. He's like, you never really think about it. It's a muscle. So I'm locking that in. And
he thinks it's going to be like great for him going forward. Long after the concussion's done, he's like, why wouldn't you warm up your eyes before a game? We warm up all of our other muscles, and a lot of guys don't think about it, but like, I'm going to warm up my eyes before every single game.
Yeah, Eric just makes the point too. I can't imagine what football players, boxers, how about hockey players too? I mean, he was a hockey player growing up. The concussion thing scares the crap out of me. I mean, it just scares the crap out of me. When you hear a lot about it, changes someone's entire personality. I know people that played strong safety in high school football. There's a chip missing at this point, right? Like the older they get, it's just different. My heart went out to him. I was so happy to see him back in the clubhouse. The guys were all elated to see him back in the clubhouse. Funniest part though, there's a couple of like trainers / equipment guys sitting in Xander's locker, which is right next to Jake's. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you had gotten there, Ben, but they're like, oh, here comes Crony. Oh, here we go. Hey, how did that home run in El Paso feel? And they were doing the interview that was about to happen. So Scan gets up, he does his interview. AC gets his questions. And then there's a pipe in from the peanut gallery. Guy with a lanyard on. The only guy in a party of three, lanyard man, says, so how'd that home run feel in El Paso? They nailed your question before you even nailed it. You didn't know that.
I wanted to see him smile. He enjoyed it. He had 108 miles an hour off the bat. And I'm going, probably wasn't what you were expecting in your first swing officially back for your rehab assignment. He goes,
it felt good.
No, it felt really, really good. I didn't hear the pre-question.
That's why I was like, oh, he nailed it.
You can predict some of those questions.
Very much
about it. But you were so happy to see him back. You didn't even mind that he bunted early in a game with 2 runners on in his first plate appearance.
I mean, who better to bunt than a guy coming back from concussion to get the top of the order up?
Yeah.
Lefty, done. I love that he was in the lineup yesterday. Hope he's in there again today. Big Cronenworth fan. And obviously he, like anybody, he's not immune to the criticism of needing to produce at the bottom of the order. Certainly. I will tell you another quick story, man. Somebody said there's a constant beep playing. I don't hear that. If anybody else hears that, let us know. Try to figure it out. Maybe it's on the other radio end. I did see this, man. I don't know. I mean, Samad Taylor, we had heard his thumb was kind of jacked, and he had his thumb wrapped again, and it's no secret. He showed it during the game at certain points. But I watched that dude try to put his glove on yesterday, and he goes, F, trying to just get his glove on. And I'm like, oh boy, these guys are banged up.
It's a good reminder that just because the guy's out there doesn't mean he's healthy.
Doesn't mean he's feeling good.
Doesn't mean he's feeling fine.
Does not mean he's feeling good. These guys are all grinding through it right now. And the fact that it's a heat index of 105, it's probably sick to play in.
And we're going to get hotter today.
Very cool,
and then tomorrow, the day game I think will be the hottest of the 3.
Excruciating.
I mean, it's unseasonably warm here is what all the locals are saying. I know it gets hot in Chicago in the summer, but they said, I mean, it was literally like 67 degrees a week ago.
Yeah.
And they just said they knew this heat wave was coming. I think it's like they're touching almost record highs for this week. It's been really hot.
And what they were really unusual, because I was watching the local weather, is the extended nature of it. They said we have days in the 90s. We haven't had 5 straight days in the 90s in 5 years, and that's what it's going to be this week.
Humidity of like 92.
Yeah, that's what's unusual. They'll hit highs. It's going to be a really hot one, and then it cools back down. To have it so many days in a row be as hot as it is, they even find that unusual here in Chicago.
Yep.
All right, we will come back with Don't Do This in our next segment. The gambling scandal du jour in sports. We pretty much get one every single month now. It's just kind of the new reality in the year 2026. And for Do This, the great Sarah Langs comes up with, I think, a phenomenal stat from baseball last night. I'll share it with you coming up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, there's a certain feeling late in a close game. We felt it last night. Everything matters. One bad break, like, the wind, can change the outcome. For a lot of people, retirement feels the same way. You don't want to get a bad break when you've been working so hard and saving your whole life. But you have the questions. Will your money last? What happens if the market drops? What about healthcare costs? And what does inflation do over the next 10, 20, or 30 years? That uncertainty is real. Trajan Wealth helps people turn that uncertainty into a plan. TRAJANwealth.com. Their fiduciary advisors work with you to build a retirement strategy designed for real life, not just best case scenarios. They're right here in San Diego, offices at Liberty Station, Carlsbad, and Del Mar. So if this is something you've been meaning to look into, start just by going to TRAJANwealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN1. And again, you can find all the information online at TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and enjoy it. Kyle, how long were we just sitting there with the music
I don't
playing?
know why. That was weird. I couldn't
We
hear
got
it.
lost. We got lost in each other's eyes.
What was that, Kyle?
Couple seconds and
Oh, good.
All
All
right,
right.
not too
It could have been a minute. I had no idea. And usually I've got a good internal clock knowing we've got to be back any second.
He was really very interested in my manscaping, is what he was asking
your story
me about.
from our open.
Yeah.
Like trying to use the little beard trimmer attachment tool.
Didn't work too well.
Going like, why would you even attempt that?
Well, duty called.
Apparently. All right. I will get us started with the gambling scandal of the month. And it really does feel like pretty much every month, whether it's college basketball or pro basketball or something, you're hearing a story.
Cockfighting.
And yesterday, it involved the NBA. Former players Malik Beasley and Ed Davis are among 6 defendants indicted on charges related to an alleged sports gambling scheme. Basically, here it is in a nutshell. Malik Beasley gambled millions during his 9-year NBA career, lost tons of money, and back in the 2023-2024 season, when he was playing for the Milwaukee Bucks, gets in with gamblers, and they ask, well, can you manipulate your stats during a game so we can bet the over or under on things like points and rebounds? The indictment included examples with wagers totaling more than $75,000 with net winnings of over $120,000. Unfortunately, and we saw it with the MLB players' proposal to owners, like, let's stop with the prop bets.
Yeah.
Let's not even go down that road anymore so no one's tempted or no gamblers are approaching our players because they can't win money on it. It does seem like it's the most problematic part of online gambling is these prop bets.
Sure, but I feel like I agree with that proposal. I thought it was a good idea, but you're talking over under right? That can be manipulated. So what are you going to do? Take out over-unders? What are you going to bet on the
It is harder.
winner,
I would say
loser?
it's harder to manipulate a whole team. When it's just one person and you get your claws in the wrong person, it's a little easier for them to, only score 4 points and come out of a game.
And they should have.
Let that late rebound fall because you've got 7 and your number's at 7.5. So
I do think about when point shaving started, right? When it started, they didn't have prop bets then. It was you got to take a dive, or you better score a bunch of points, or you better not score a bunch of points. You better throw up a bunch of bricks. But it wasn't. It was to manipulate the final score. There's no way around this, man. This is going to be our new
and it wasn't
reality.
Foolproof, because when it's a team score, it's like you gambler
can't help what
you may
he
have the
does.
forward, but it's like our point guard was just on fire from 3, and you bet the other. What can I do about it? Like I can't block his shots or anything when I'm out there. But when it's just one player and his individual props, you don't really need much for gamblers to get their hooks into guys.
Did you read the names of
Malik Beasley and Ed Davis
Malik
were the
Beasley.
2 big ones? Yeah.
This is a wild story. We had Josh Naylor here, and there in San Diego. Josh Naylor was a Padre, and I think he was a pretty well-liked Padre, at least by fans. I think people were surprised when he was traded, had a lot of potential, and has gone on to have a really nice career with the Arizona Diamondbacks, with the Cleveland Guardians, with the Seattle Mariners. Right.
That's where he's at right now, isn't he?
So, little incident over the weekend. Josh Naylor is up. Austin Hedges behind the dish. Pitch comes kind of high and tight. Naylor kind of is like, oh, got me. Sticks his arm up, runs down to first base, gets hit by the pitch. Austin Hedges starts barking. They start barking at each other. You can actually see Austin Hedges say, nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. Even your own teammates don't like you. Which I found rich coming from Austin Hedges. But this is the wild part. Josh Naylor's apparently a lunatic. Stone Garrett, who he played with in the Nationals organization, I believe when they were rookies, wrote this. Josh Naylor liked to play stupid games. Dude would come into our apartment, we were neighbors, with aerosol and lighters multiple times. That wasn't his first time in our apartment with a butcher's knife. The guy hid in my closet waiting for me to get home. When I went to hang my shirt up, he jumped out with a knife pointed at me. I caught my thumb, sliced it wide open. Went to the ER. He waits for me when I get back. First question is, are you going to press charges? Next day, coach holds team meeting saying front office wants to keep it hush hush. LMAO. I get surgery. He cut my nerve. Still can't feel my right thumb. He got suspended for 1 game. LOL. 2 weeks later, he goes to the Futures game and gets traded. He's the most psychotic person I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
Right?
There is a fine line between team clown.
Yeah.
And
Psychopath.
lunatic.
Yeah, for sure.
And Josh Naylor crossed it. So he did the horror movie jump scare with a knife.
Would you guys take Josh Naylor back here? I would.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't have to live in a clubhouse with him.
As long as he doesn't like jump out of the closet
with him and stuff.
He's hated, right? Like he's hated around baseball. As somebody said, this is what Josh does. You play with Josh, you love Josh. You play against Josh, you hate him.
It sounds like he wants to be liked. Though those are the kind of behaviors that people they want to be funny and engaging. Just dial it back a little, dude.
I mean, he would smash his helmet into his face when he hit home runs and stuff.
Yeah, Herbal says, hadn't that been around for ages? We were making jokes about it when he was a minor leaguer here. I don't remember it at all. Then again, I don't remember much. So yeah, it's interesting.
All right, finally a little do this.
DD mega doo-doo.
Nice job. All right.
Attaboy.
Great stat from the great Sarah Langs, who had this one from last night's Dodgers-A's game. It was just the 3rd time in baseball history that 2 players with the same name batted in the same spot in the lineup and played the same position against each other. Because last night, Max Muncy of the Dodgers and Max Muncy of the A's both batted 7th and played 3rd base. And it had actually happened 2 times before, and I'm curious if either of you have any idea. One of them, he wasn't on the Padres, but he was a former Padre that was involved in one of the same name matchups. Yes. I'll give you even another hint. This one was the pitcher. 2 pitchers both batted 9th against each other with the same name. they had different middle initials, and they often were separated by their middle initials when they pitched back in the, I would say, 2000s. There was Bobby M. Jones and Bobby J. Jones. So, and they once pitched against each other and both batted ninth.
Bobby Jones.
For the Mets and the Colorado Rockies. That was 1999. And then a year later, Alex Gonzalez for both the Toronto Blue Jays and the Florida Marlins at the time.
Yeah.
Both played shortstop and batted seventh in the lineup in that game. And those are the only 3 times in baseball history. One of the Max Muncies, and I don't know which one actually, was asked after the game, and he said, it's so weird to be standing out at third base and hearing the PA guy now batting Max Muncy. And you're like, wait, I'm out in the field.
That's
I'm not
my
batting.
name.
That's my name.
Funny story. Yesterday, Bo was at Padres camp, and there was a kid that he played against. You know what his name was? Jackson Merrill. That's a true story. Jackson Merrill. Kid,
but this kid is only
9 years old. So it's just
when he was born, Jackson Merrill was just a high schooler,
just a high schooler or whatever. And he just happened to be named Jackson Merrill as Jackson Merrill burst onto the scene here.
There are so many Jacksons from age like 6 to 20 at this point.
Oh yeah.
Probably every other
name.
Merrill out there is a Jackson Merrill. Yeah. So I guess it makes a lot of sense.
Probably another Jackson Holiday.
Oh yeah. Guaranteed. Jackson Merrill.
And that is Don't and Do This for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
And he made another friend yesterday. He's going to be pitching there named Ed Whitson. So it's going to be cool for him to see all the different kids out at Padres camp today.
Matthew in the chat says, me and Naylor got into it on Twitter a few years ago.
What?
He DM'd me a manifesto about how effing stupid I am.
I mean, I'm going to need to see that.
See the screenshots, yep.
I'm going to need to see some of that.
Send the screenshots. Going to need that.
A manifesto.
Can we start doing that? Just sending people manifestos.
Josh Naylor sounds like he's a little off his rocker.
A little bit. I love that. I'm going to need to see a clip of that.
Please.
We have picked the incorporator word for Jesse. He will join us in 1 hour on a Tuesday. All our guests on Men and Woods appear on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It is better. When we come back, though, MLB reach around time. We'll take a look at the rest of Monday's action in Major League Baseball and more. Coming up next, live in Chicago, it's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
You're very pedantic. I'm surprised it doesn't bother you more when it says we're broadcasting live.
That's a really good point.
You know,
I am somewhat pedantic. I'm also practical.
Minus the somewhat.
I'm practical.
Pedant. I said that to him in a text one time, and I broke his heart.
Yeah. The Bill House Studios, we know how, travel with us wherever we go.
But because it said broadcasting live from the Bill House Studio. I said, well, we're not in the Bill House Studios today.
You don't know that for sure. We're still working for Odyssey. Perhaps Odyssey has designated this room, at least temporarily, as the Bill House Studios.
Because we know how. And
Wiener how.
And I did say to Ben one time in a text message that you're very pedantic, and it cut you deeply.
It's insulting. I appreciate accuracy. Doesn't everybody want accuracy? Sometimes it is a bit technical, and I agree that is bordering on pedantic at times, but
I'd like to find it. If I search pedantic,
it'll pop up. Yeah.
I wonder how many times you've actually used that in a text. My guess is not that often.
I think it was the first time that I ever even said the word.
I mean, it's an Incorporator Tuesday. We're not to the letter P yet, but pedantic, it means it's an adjective, describes someone who's excessively concerned with minor details, formal rules, or small errors.
Yes.
Who's pedantic when it comes to me mispronouncing a word or making a flub? Small errors.
Small error.
You often
Is that me
like
being
to point
pedantic?
out. Yes, you are being pedantic when you point out my small errors.
But I'm not looking for accuracy. I just find it funny.
I'm more of the formal rules guy.
Yes.
You know, we have to cross a lot of streets here in Chicago, and I tend to be the one that waits for the little green man symbol to come on before I take a step.
Even
into
when we
the
know it's going, and we have 3 seconds, it's gonna go.
It's
and
about
we'll
to
just start.
pull.
There's no cars.
Paulie and I will go, and I'll look back, and he's standing on the corner like a rube,
looking
like
around,
a greenhorn
waiting.
from Dubuque, Iowa, like scared of the big city. He's standing there. I'm like, I'm waiting for the hand to pop up white so that I can go across the
little
street.
green man,
the little green man,
or it's
whatever.
the
it is.
red hand.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, well, we'll just cross and then we'll wait for you over
Now,
here.
when it's blinking and it's like 6-5, I'm happy to make the sprint across and make it before because I know I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm unfamiliar with some of the streets, and there's left turns, and people are coming around the corners. There's big buses. And
We're not
stuff.
in England.
Don't want to get run over here.
I get it. I don't want you to. I don't want you to get run over. That would be that would cast a pall on our trip. Not that pall. No. A different. It would cast a different pall on our trip.
Where is DePaul University, by the way?
It's in Lincoln Park. It's maybe 5 stops from here on the train.
I think we need to go.
We have to go. We have to go to DePaul.
We don't make it to DePaul, it will cast a pall on our
It
trip.
will. Like I
need a picture in front of a sign. Or
I have to see you in front of the DePaul University. I don't know why. I just do. I do. I think it's in Lincoln Park. I remember vaguely where it is, but it's not far. I know that it's right.
And then Loyola is a little north of Wrigley Field when we went yesterday, just a little bit, few miles beyond that. Where
Correct.
You went.
Where I went. If you go on Lakeshore Drive all the way up till it runs out, boom, you take a right on Sheridan, and then you go up, and there is beautiful Rogers Park, which is much more beautiful now than it was when I was there. Rogers Park was a bit of a dump when I lived there, but now it's all gentrified and everything looks great. And there's, Urban Outfitters on every corner and Sprouts and things like that. A bunch of stuff we didn't have. But the campus, when I went a couple of years ago, you'd see it and go, geez, Woodsy, this is amazing.
This town has an elite skyline.
Elite.
On
it's
the
perfect.
lake.
Yeah.
I mean, the views from different directions, plus a couple of really tall buildings. When I grew up, it was called the Sears Tower,
Sears
right?
Tower, yeah.
Now Willits Tower. But I mean, they really stand out, the buildings here.
The John Hancock's one of the most striking buildings you'll ever see.
And we're right next to that. We're very
pretty close
to it here at our Odyssey, which is, by the way, the Prudential Center. We're in a pretty big building right now. I'm not sure how many floors above us it goes, but we're in a fairly large skyscraper at the moment.
We haven't done it yet, but is the John Hancock or the Willis, for that matter? I know the Willis is 10 stories tall or something like that. They both have the observation decks. Is that a tourist trap? Is it overrated? Is it cool to go up there? Is that something we should do?
I don't think I've ever been.
I'd be willing. I'm sure it's a tourist trap
to do,
but that doesn't mean it's not cool.
Right.
Well, tourist traps are there for tourists because
they're
you've never
for a
seen
reason.
it. Right.
Like it's not terrible.
What are San Diego's tourist traps?
The Midway,
SeaWorld,
Zoo, Legoland.
I mean, those aren't bad places.
And they're good places. If you
live there, you're like, I'm good.
If you came in from, another small town or something, and of course you're like, I want to go check out the Midway's badass, by the way. We did that luncheon on the Midway. It was amazing. I had the time of my life. And doing touristy things in your city is awesome.
Seaport Village to me is somewhere, because I was there shooting a stand-up the other week, and I was like, I have not been here since I was a kid. It's cool. I was looking like, it's nice. I'm not going to fight anything to come down here. But if you're a tourist, I totally get why Seaport Village is so different. And it's right on the bay, and it's amazing. And it's nothing like where you're from at home. We don't have shopping malls right on the water like this that are really cool. But I'm really not going.
Old Town, your wife in the chat says Old Town. Yeah.
Yep.
But good. Like I've been a couple times, since I moved here, and I'm like, this is cool.
Tourist trap is kind of defined as if you live in that city and you're hosting somebody in town or whatever, and they want to do it. If you go, all right, like, right, you're kind of like, I live here. I don't really want to go, but I totally understand why you want to go. Like, let's do it. All right, fine. I'll suck it up.
Biggest tourist trap of all time, the Statue of Liberty.
Probably.
That's probably number
at least
one
in America.
Disneyland,
Eiffel Tower.
See, the Eiffel Tower is incredible.
Well, I mean, yes, for
and
us,
there's
from another country.
No,
if you live in Paris, do you really think it's incredible?
There were plenty of Frenchmen up there. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
When Hannah and I went, it's stunning. And the views up there are just unbelievable.
Big Ben.
Big Ben kind of sucks because it's just a clock. And it was under construction when we were there. My wife did get a picture of me in front of it and says Big Ben and Woods, which that's
pretty good.
I laughed about that. That was pretty good. Buc-ee's is a tourist trap.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody at my table last night.
Barbecue brisket sandwiches be a tourist trap.
Somebody hit me last night at our table and it was like, oh, Woods, do you stop at Buc-ee's when you go? And I go, I did once with the kids. They liked it. And then I took them back and they were like, all right, we're over it. It was like a one and done for Buc-ee's. So now it just looks like a real crowded gas station.
Philly, I mean, we went to the Liberty Bell.
The Liberty Bell is the biggest tourist trap.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about how disappointing
the Rocky statue?
Can we talk about how disappointing the Liberty Bell was, by the way?
It's a bit disappointing.
Pretty disappointing.
So when we went in to look at it, I actually thought, I was like, where's the real one? Because this isn't the real one.
This is just the small one they show to tourists, right? Where's the actual one?
Where's the real Liberty Bell? I want to see the real thing. And the guy's like, this is the real Liberty Bell. This is it. And I'm like, I don't know that I believe you right now. I really don't.
If you had to choose one tourist trap that we just discussed here in Chicago, would you rather have the Willis Tower has the glass bridge that sticks out that you can go over?
Neither.
Or the John Hancock observation tower? It's the one where
you tilt.
I saw that on my Instagram feed yesterday. People they tilt you 30 degrees forward and you're just like hovering over 100 stories, however tall it is.
That's the one. It's not as tall as Willis Tower, but it's closer to the lake and it has the view of the 360 degree view of the lake.
I saw a guy chicken out on the Instagram video.
30 seconds. I saw the same one
and walked off. I mean,
that would be me.
We would have to try that if we have time. I don't know.
I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
All right, we got a couple of minutes left in the
turn the mics off real quick.
We got a couple of minutes left in the hour. Let's get to the MLB reach around. They're doing the reach around. They're doing the reach around. Everybody's doing the reach around. This hour on Better What's brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We did talk about the Dodgers, the Max Muncies playing against each other. The Dodgers, Max Muncy hit a home run, as did Shohei Ohtani and Andy Pajes in that little Sacramento ballpark as the Dodgers beat the A's 9-4 yesterday. The D-backs broke their losing streak with a 5-4 win over the Giants. Eduardo Rodriguez continuing his solid 2026 WBC champion, 7 innings of 1-run ball for his 7th win of the year.
Trade bait?
I mean, the Diamondbacks are at 500 right now. I don't know if they're giving up. I mean, they're probably still thinking they're in it. So unless they collapsed over the next few weeks. Marlins beat the Rockies 10-7 at Coors Field. Griffin Conine hit a pinch hit, go-ahead 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Marlins have passed the Padres in the standings in the National League.
That's crazy.
The Brewers beat the Reds 5-3. Bryce Terang hit a solo home run to tie it in the 7th. Joey Ortiz hit a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 8th for the Brew Crew. Pirates put 8 runs on Aaron Nola in an 11-7 win over the Phillies. Red Sox continue to win. They doubled up the Nationals 6-3, 5th win in a row. Wilson Contreras, 3-run home run in the 1st inning.
I saw their playoff. I mean, they were dead and buried. I saw their playoff expectancy now is like 20%.
Partly because the American League is really
so bad.
Partly because they've been playing better. They just mopped the Yankees and now get a win over the Nationals to open that series.
God, baseball's weird, man.
The Mariners got 2 home runs from young Cole Young in a 6-2 win over the LA Angels. The Twins got a 2-run shot from old friend Josh Bell, his 10th of the season, as they beat the Astros 5-4. Blue Jays beat the Mets 2-1. The Mets are finding different things to be embarrassed about every day. They don't do this because of Mr. Met's failure to read the room. Yesterday, it was a Little League home run. Juan Soto misplayed what should have been a single, turned it into a triple, and then
shouldn't it have been an out?
Well, it could have been an out too. I don't think it was an error. I think they ruled it as a triple. So And then they misplayed it behind him for an error that allowed the Little League home run all the way around, and that turned out to be the difference in the game as the Blue Jays beat the Mets 2-1.
It was ugly.
Yankees got 7 innings of one-hit ball with 10 strikeouts from Casey Mize. The Tigers beat the Yankees. I'm sorry, Tigers beat the Yankees 7-3. Yankees have now lost 5 games in a row. The Texas Rangers doubled up the Cleveland Guardians 6-5 for their 5th straight win. As I mentioned yesterday, the Rangers have moved into first place in the AL West. I didn't notice who had joined the Rangers. Chris Paddock was their bulk reliever after an opener yesterday. It wasn't great, allowed 2 runs in 4 innings, but good enough to beat the Cleveland Guardians. I think, is this Paddock's 3rd team of the year?
Yes.
And now he's
like a Marlin, a Red, and
now a Ranger.
Ranger.
Reunited with former fellow Padres prospect Mackenzie Gore.
Indeed.
In Texas under Skip Schumacher, who's making waves as a potential manager of the year again in the American League. If they end up winning that division, he'll have a good shot at winning that award yet again. And then finally, the White Sox beat the Orioles 8-2 with Chicago scoring 6 runs in the final 2 innings. And that is it for your Monday schedule. There were a few teams that were off. Everybody should be in schedule today.
You say the White Sox won or lost?
They won 8-2.
How cool is it in this town to have 2 teams that are really relevant? Like 2 teams really relevant. People are, baseball. The summer's is here. People are going to be so fired up. White Sox fans, Cubs fans. It's pretty rare that they're both
LA,
good.
New York, and Chicago. But New York only has the Yankees right now, and then Los Angeles really only has the Dodgers right now. But Chicago, absolutely, you've got meaningful baseball on both sides of the town.
Pretty cool
every single night, which is interesting. I never obviously really covered a team with multiple teams in the same sport. Is wild to me.
It would be wild, right? Like to let's say we're a Cubs show and Cubs had scuffled, for a while. White Sox were red hot. You get on, you're like, yeah, but they're not going to make it. Like you're ripping the other team in your town, knowing people are listening to you also in your town. It's very weird. You have to set an alliance. I think you do, don't you?
I think my instinct would be, well, I'm from this town. I should like both of these teams. I'm like, am I really cheering against a team from my
Chicago.
own town? Like if San Diego, for some reason, they put another team in San Diego, like, am I now like, I hate the San Diego Sailors or whatever. I'm a Padres through and through guy my whole life.
Sir Will says, how do you keep up as a radio host? I don't know. I don't know what you do.
We have enough trouble keeping up with this one team.
Because you know how it works. If they start playing good and your team starts playing bad, you're obviously going to pay attention more.
Take on Woods, Jesse Agler, all coming up in hour number 3 of Ben and Woods live on 97.3 The Fan.
are halfway home here on a, Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan, broadcasting live from the Windy City, Chicago. And been an amazing trip so far. I wanted to get your guys' opinions on a couple of things real quick about said city. I'm Woodsy. That's Paulie. First-timer. We got a first-timer here in Chicago. And Ben is like a second-timer, but it'd been a long time since you'd been here. Food, 1 to 10.
So far?
Yeah.
8.5.
Okay,
I'm pretty darn good.
Yeah. What is?
I like to leave a little room. Like I haven't been to Paris yet. I want to, so I need to know that.
Fair.
I've been very impressed so far.
Temperature?
Zero.
It's real hot.
It's been brutal.
It's been very, very
It's not
warm.
their fault. I mean,
beauty.
10.
8. Very good. I mean, it's not San Diego. San Diego is gorgeous. But
Okay,
this
San
is
Diego's
really
different.
cool.
This is a big city.
City-wise, I'd take this over New York.
All day.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
said that for years.
I'd take this over New York.
I've said it for years.
Take it over Philadelphia. It was a big city as well.
Yeah. I think it's the best American city. I really do. I think it's my favorite American city. It's got views. It's got buildings, it's got culture, it's got food, it's got music, it's got art, it's got everything. There's an architecture. The architecture in Chicago is incredible. Frank Lloyd Wright from Chicago. My friend in college, his name was Felix. I didn't really like him. He was a friend of a friend. His parents owned a Frank Lloyd Wright house. Wow. And it was one of those where you could walk into and he's like, watch this. And the bookshelf would like turn into like a secret room. And you grew up in this house? Like, how is that possible? They're all over the place here. There's so much cool stuff. Then you got, for me, thing I love the most, I like the mob history here. The Capone. If you've ever seen the movie The Untouchables, that was all here. I was going to take you guys to a place called the Green Mill, which is a lounge. We go get a cocktail there before we leave. Paulie wanted a T-shirt from a really cool establishment. That's one of them. The Green Mill, I used to go all the time. Very loungy, dark, but Capone and his cronies used to hang out there. It's still open, still serving drinks out of the same small glasses. Just a lot of history here and a lot of incredible, massive.
Yeah, I don't know
happened.
my Chicago history that well. Obviously, I've heard of Capone and Elliot Ness, the Untouchables, and the Chicago political machine, and you learn about some of that in your history books. Sure. But yeah, I've got to say my Chicago history I'm not up on. I actually just learned I have a connection to Chicago history. My grandfather, the doctor, one of his best friends, I always remembered growing up, his name was Charlie Wacker. And his grandfather was actually Charles H. Wacker, who was the namesake of the street, Wacker Drive, where our hotel and our building is here in Chicago. Was a philanthropist and businessman who helped build up the city back in the late 1800s.
What's his name again?
Charles Wacker.
Now, we were on Lower Wacker yesterday.
Right.
We've been on Upper Wacker and Lower Wacker. What was your favorite?
I liked Lower Wacker. It was interesting. We went down there and it was like in The Fugitive. You told us.
Are you writing that down to say?
Yes. In that,
it was. I told you that's the scene.
Where Dr. Kimball meets his old friend, the Dr. Charles Nichols, before he knew Charles Nichols is the bad guy. He's in that kind of tunnel area where, the squeegee guy comes up and it's like, this is lower underneath Michigan Avenue under what's going on the top. I didn't even know it existed. I'm looking around. There's a river. It's like, there's a whole another city under this city here.
That's where the Billy Goat Tavern
is. The original Billy Goat Tavern.
And we went and had lunch there yesterday. It was outstanding.
That was cool. We were on the main street. Like, we had just crossed the bridge over the river. And we're like, where the hell are we supposed to go? And it was like an old subway entrance, the stairs down into the sidewalk. And it said, this way to the Billy Goat. And it's like a whole underground city down there.
So cool. It's just great. The people here are spectacular. They're fantastic. They're nice. It's the Midwest.
Example of that. We arrived at Wrigley Field yesterday at the media gate. We didn't know where to go. So we asked directions, which is, common. And I expected to get a point. No, the woman just came and just walked us. I'll just walk you all the way to where you need to go. I did not expect that, but that felt to me like Midwestern hospitality.
Yeah, so nice. Michelle says it's the best American big city, but the weather is very annoying 80% of the time. You're right. If you come too early, if you arrive too early, it's very cold. If you arrive in the middle of the year, it's very warm. And if you arrive again too late, it could be very cold, maybe even wet. So when we come in September, Paul, we got to cross our fingers that we get a good weekend.
Yeah. It's like an avocado. It's either not ripe enough or too ripe. But you got that.
There's a
little window where
better
it's
thread the needle, dude.
Really great.
Well, 24 to 36 hours.
So we were laughing yesterday as we left the building here. And we were walking, and there's a restaurant downstairs called Just Salad. Now, we did not eat there, obviously. Ben said we should take a picture of it in front of it. But it's literally called Just Salad. There's all these healthy...
came all the way to Chicago
to eat just salad. So there's all these people there eating and getting healthy meals. We walk outside, and we're all three of us go, because it's so hot. I look off to the right. There's all these tables. And there's these people sitting outside in work attire, like way more than stuff than we had on. And they're eating their Just Salad and they're reading a book. And Ben goes, why are they sitting there when the air conditioning is right inside? And I said, they're thawing out. They're thawing out from the winter. And they also know it's coming. They're like, bring it. Bring the heat. We do not care. So the beach yesterday was packed with people. Like beyond packed. Butt to nuts, dude.
It looked like, Mission Beach on an August day, but no waves at all. I mean, the lake is very calm out there, but there were tons of people. I mean, packing the beach here on Lakeshore Drive.
The hotel had this incredible, or has this incredible, where we're staying, this incredible rooftop deck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they let other people in that aren't staying at the hotel. It's like a destination spot. So you did have some of the fringe up there, but you did have most of our group up there last night.
There's only a small portion where it's like standing room drinks only.
Yes.
The rest are tables and people have reservations.
But the views,
they're right on the edge. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Views are incredible, and the drinks were flowing, and I had to shut it down. 10 on the nose. Guy bought me an old fashioned, sucked it down, and I said, I got to get out of here, man, because
one of those can turn into three of those real quick.
Paulie, it went down. It went down real smooth. What'd you have last night?
I had a reposado tequila on the rocks. Something very simple. I didn't want anything with sugar in it by the end of the night.
That's why I don't feel so great.
I just went with the straight alcohol. I will admit, at that point, I was tired. We had done all day Wrigley.
Yeah, it was a long day.
The heat, dinner, which was great, but it was 2 hours, and we were, chatting with everybody, and I was getting pretty tired at the end of the night. And someone, and I don't even remember who, because I'm pretty wiped, goes, do you want a drink? And I think I said, and this is not going to sound good.
Oh, boy.
If someone puts one in my hand, I will drink it. I didn't want to just go. I didn't want to go through the process of like ordering and deciding. Just bring me something. They said, "What we want? Just give me a reposado tequila." So thank you for the drink,
Elton John.
I know it was bad.
We had to wait on him to get into our Uber yesterday. The driver was there, waiting, and we're sitting there. We've been down there for 5-10 minutes. We're like, yo, you coming down? And Ben's like, oh, the Uber's here. I'll be down shortly.
Oh, yeah, Lady Gaga over here. I know what her handlers feel like.
Yeah. Jay Hidalgo asks, how is Ben dealing with the thongs walking around? It is fairly, I grew up in California.
Thongs?
Like beach attire, bikinis. Like,
is that what he means?
I thought so, because
I thought he meant like sandals, flip-flops.
Oh, I'm walking in shoes today. Yeah. But there are a lot of people here who are wearing minimal clothing. I did not expect that in Chicago.
Where?
Along the beach. Did you see along the beach, like on the drive yesterday?
Well, I took a casual look over. I just saw the number of people. I wasn't.
You were like analyzing how much skin
there was a lot
of
skin being shown in Chicago yesterday.
It's a beach.
Have you ever been to a
even
beach?
Walking around the town?
Have you been to Pacific Beach?
Are you seeing people walking around the town in thongs? And where am I?
Bikinis and like
bikinis.
Where did you go yesterday?
Yeah. Boy, Lower Whacker's got a whole new meaning now at this point. What are you doing up there?
I guess they were, as you were said, they were ready to thaw out after the winter.
They were.
And they're not doing it in a lot of clothing here right now in Chicago.
KG says, well, no wonder his Instagram feed is peppered with young women. God. No, I had not. No, I swear to God, I'm not doing
You're usually the first to notice.
I had not noticed at all. I've seen a lot of attractive women here. There's always a lot of attractive women here. Always have been. But I have not seen any of them in thongs. What are we missing? Where's he going that we're not going?
I don't know. I've driven by the beach in San Diego a million times. We drove by the beach here, and it's like you just look over. You're like,
there's a lot of people.
There's guys with their shirts off. There's girls in bikinis, and they're at the beach. I don't think anything of it. And Ben's like, that is a mighty small bikini she's got on.
A lot of skin out there at the beach.
There was skin throughout the town. How about on the river, on the boats going by and
stuff? There were 2 girls on a boat. Still not sure what they were doing.
I have an idea.
I had an idea.
It looked like they were simulating something.
Let's say they could have been praying because they were both facing something.
Maybe it was a yoga pose. Maybe they're doing yoga.
That was odd. They were on the boat. Yes, we did see that. That I did see.
Okay, you did see that one.
I did see that one. Wow, man. Holy cow.
I'm sticking with Ben today.
Yeah, where are you going? I missed all of this. So I didn't see anything at the Billy Goat Tavern yesterday when we were walking down to Lower Wacker. But we got a fun day planned ahead. We're going to have some Lou Malnati's. I'm going to have the tavern style, I do believe.
Well, I have to try at least some deep dish.
You've never tried it?
I've never, not authentic Chicago.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I've been to Pizzeria Uno at Fashion Valley before. I don't think that really totally counts.
Well, you were going to get a Chicago dog at the game tonight, and I said they're probably pretty good, but I think you could do better.
Oh, I'm sure.
As
there's
far as
more, the old school.
I don't want your
dog stand. I'm not going to judge it on the Wrigley Field. I know it's a ballpark dog.
I don't want your first one to be.
We each threw down a press box dog yesterday.
They were
too.
Real good. That was on a recommendation from our next guest, Jesse Agler.
He said best press box hot dogs in Major League Baseball.
And he's, Jesse Agler's not a big hot dog eater.
Says he hasn't had one all year.
He saves up for this one.
Yep.
So yeah, we did have it. It was pretty damn good. So the
poppy seed buns.
Yeah.
The food's
I
been
like
great.
the poppy seeds and the seeded buns.
I do too.
Yeah,
I like those as well.
Way to go.
We had went over to the Cubby Bear after. Ran into some tier ones. We sucked down a beer real quick. It was very refreshing.
The Cubby Bear was fun.
Cubby Bear is cool.
You walk into the Cubby Bear and they give you a bag of gummy bears.
Yeah, I saved mine for my kids.
Same.
I think it was like a inducement to try to come inside. Like they were, there's competition down at Wrigley Field between many of the bars. So like in the gas lamp, they have people, come on in, and their gimmick is they have people handing out bags of gummy bears, red, white, and blue. I did actually eat most of mine last night. Yeah.
I'm going to save mine for my kids.
Solid gummy bears.
But man, it's been great. And we still have so much good stuff to do, so much good food to eat. If you're here, please say hello. Tonight will be the night we're going to do a little meetup. Fourth inning after the last out is made in the third, start matriculating behind home plate to the concourse, and we'll say hello, do a meet and greet. It sounds like arrogant, but my DMs have gone crazy. We're going to be there. Would love to say hi. If I took a beer from every guy that said he wanted to buy us beers, we'd have like 75 beers. We wouldn't have to pay for a beer all night.
We also wouldn't be able to do these shows.
We have a show tomorrow. We do have a show tomorrow.
But our group, there's 50, 60 listeners with us, but there's several hundred, probably in the thousands of Padres fans here in Chicago.
And I told all the players, by the way, where we're all going to be sitting tonight, and so they'll be looking for us.
Yep.
But no, man, it's been an amazing trip.
Matthew has a very low opinion of deep dish pizza. He says, "Here's your melted cheese brick covered in oil."
Yeah,
it's Chicago. Just eat 6 pounds of cheese.
It's pretty tough.
I went to Notre Dame. Had to take every visitor to get nasty ass deep dish in Chicago.
It's pretty tough. Yeah. Matt, I didn't know you went to Notre Dame, Matty.
I love a good cheese plate. I'll just consider this to be a melted cheese plate.
It's lasagna. It's lasagna.
I love lasagna too.
It'd be good.
Chris with the recommendation. Yes, we do need to take Ben to the Wiener Circle. I think they have one by Wrigley, don't they?
I think so.
Not Flub-a-Dub Chubs?
No, I nobody's ever heard of Flub-a-Dub Chubs. Italian Beef Report will be here next week because it's our last meal we're eating in Chicago, so you'll have to get that on Monday. But man, been a great trip so far. Got Jesse Agler coming up today. Great time with him yesterday, talking up in the press box. They were all doing their work pregame. We kind of bothered them, interrupted them, but we got a chance to hear some great stories. And Jesse is we trying to get him over here this morning, but it's a little warm for him to jog over to the studio. Also, the security here is really difficult. It would have been difficult. So
this hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball season is in full swing. So is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for a free month of pool service. Before Jesse joins us at the bottom of the hour, we got a game of Take on Woods. We got TVs and music remaining. If you'd like to be our contestant and try to qualify, last chance, the last couple of days of June here for our grand prize staycation at the Town and Country, $250 food and beverage credit. You can call now, 833-288-0973. Kyle will put you on hold. I will forget your name, and then we will play Take on Woods. When we come back, broadcasting live from the remote Bill House studios, we know how,
allegedly, yeah,
on San Diego's number one sports station. San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Before we go to break, let me tell you guys quickly about Super Sure Insurance. And listen, it's Super Sure Insurance, all insurance. It's something that you need to have, obviously. It's not the sexiest conversation in the world. Doesn't matter. Try not having it and see how that goes for you. So if your company's got more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be very complex to just buy a policy online. Super Sure, they are the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits. Keep it right there, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like their fine print facts, which will translate your current policy into plain English so you can see what's covered and what's not, kind of important, plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth. You know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. They are one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com, supersure.com, paid for by Super Sure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort. Now open.
We have a number of Take On Woods aficionados with us here on our trip to Chicago.
Yep.
Had a bunch of them say they've either played you before. Some of them have won. Others have tried to get through before and haven't been contestants, but like to play along as they listen in the car or at home or as they're watching on YouTube. So
yeah, Susie told me last night, I will kick your ass as long as it's music. And I said, Susie, I've heard that for years now.
I said, call in then.
Call in. Put your money where your mouth is.
You know, there is a certain element. The game can seem very easy to you when you are listening and there's nothing on the line. But when the pressure hits and you're on the phone and you're trying to listen to it through the phone rather than on your radio, it can be a little different.
Indeed.
It can be a little more difficult. So I try to remember that for the contestants. But we do have a game ready to play.
All right.
Woods, you are out. Contestant, you are in. It is time to play Take On Woods.
It's time for Take On Woods.
Take on Woods. Woods.
Take On Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm Security and Fire Alarms for every business. We got you, and we got Terry as our contestant today, who is trying to qualify last couple of days here for our June grand prize. It is the staycation at the Town and Country Resort in Mission Valley, $250 food and beverage credit. Check out the 3 pools, the 4-story water slide named Twister at the Town and Country, with rates starting at $199 per night exclusively for fan listeners at towncountry.com/thefan to book. Hello, Terry. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Ben, how you doing?
All right. Make sure you speak up, hold that phone close to your mouth. And we've got 2 categories remaining. If you were listening yesterday, you know they are both called the Windy City. It's either music, bands from Chicago, or TV series set in Chicago. So would you like to play music or television, Terry?
I'll do music.
Gonna do the music. All right. All about Chicago this week. Today we are focusing on bands from the Windy City. Thanks again to our trip director, David J., who came up with our questions and categories this week. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First questions are 2-second song. You need to identify both the song title and the band to score that point, and we'll go from there. Terry, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock back in the studio for Kyle. Your time begins when Kyle plays our 2-second song. Good luck, Terry.
Come on, Terry.
Let's take on Woods.
Woo-hoo. Chicago.
It is. What's the name of the song, though?
Can you play it again?
Yeah, go ahead and play it again, Kyle.
Can't remember.
All right. Which alt-rock legends broke through in 1993 with their multi-platinum album Siamese Dream?
Smashing Pumpkins.
Correct. Which funk disco megagroup often featured a dozen musicians or more behind vocalist drummer Maurice White as they cranked out hits like September and Let's Groove?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Correct. South Park's Cartman gave which band a lift in 1998 when he felt compelled to sing all of Come Sail Away anytime he heard the opening lyrics?
The Impressions.
Incorrect. Founded by former members of Uncle O. We ran out of time. We took a little too much time at the beginning on If You Leave Me Now by Chicago. You got Smashing Pumpkins and Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's 2 points. Styx is Come Sail Away. And Wilco is going to be the answer to the last question, which I never got to. But let's bring Woods back in. Think he's probably got you today, but we will see, Terry. You hang on the line. Got our music category today for you, Woods. That'll leave us with TV for tomorrow. All right, let's put 60 seconds back on the clock, Kyle. Your time begins when we play our 2-second song. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Terry.
Oh, hang on. Didn't have my headphones on.
All right, play it again, Kyle.
All right. Seals and Crofts, Every Part of Me?
Incorrect. Which alt-rock legends broke through in 1993 with their multi-platinum album Siamese Dream?
Smashing Pumpkins.
Correct. Which funk disco megagroup often featured a dozen musicians or more behind vocalist drummer Maurice White as they cranked out hits like September and Let's Groove? Earth, Wind, and Fire? Correct. South Park's Cartman gave which band a lift in 1998 when he felt compelled to sing all of Come Sail Away anytime?
Styx.
Correct. Founded by former members of Uncle Tupelo, which band evolved from
Wilco.
Correct. And I believe that's it, but you win 4-2.
Boom.
These are all bands from Chicago.
Oh, that was
which is
Chicago.
why the first band is Chicago.
That's Chicago.
If you leave me now, then
then
you'll take away the very heart of me.
Do you like the old Chicago?
I like the old Chicago, yes.
More than Peter Cetera. That surprises me.
I like Peter Cetera as well, but I do really love like 25 or 6-4 and If You Leave Me Now.
I like Peter Cetera's
Really?
version better.
Okay.
I do. I don't know why. It was just that we grew up watching MTV and the Glory of Love and Karate Kid
Love,
2.
Glory of Love.
I love
You're right.
Glory
It's
of Love
pretty good,
2.
too.
Peter
think I
Cetera was
knew-
pretty good.
I did not know Smashing Pumpkins was a Chicago band.
Huge.
Yeah, these were all Chicago bands.
I don't think I knew Styx was originally from
Styx is
Chicago.
a huge Chicago
I
band.
mean, I'm not going to give it away, but you could probably figure out the theme for tomorrow's TV category if
Okay,
you
all
think
right.
really hard about it.
Chicago Fire.
All right, thank you, Terry, for playing. You can try it again another time, but we've got to take a little time out when we come back. The voice of the San Diego Padres, he's a few blocks north of us right now. Jesse Agler is going to call in. We'll give him an incorporator word. We'll talk about the series opener yesterday and more. All coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I had a number of people last night talking about sdfatloss.com, mostly because we're all going to need it after the end of this trip.
Where do I sign up?
But if you have gained a few pounds and you'd like to lose weight fast, sdfatloss.com has a great program for you. No exercise necessary. It's based on real foods, eating a couple of times a day, steak, chicken, vegetables. We had broccoli on the table last night. I ate a lot of broccoli when I was eating my sdfatloss.com, but you can choose things you like. They do allow you to customize, which I think is one of the great parts of sdfatloss.com. You also do not have to rely on the GLP-1 injections. Yeah, you might suppress some hunger, but you're probably going to lose muscle. Your metabolism's going down, and you're going to have to keep paying for those injections week after week, year after year, or the weight's going to come back on. Why not do something sustainable and perhaps permanent? I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. I have kept the weight off for 3 full years, thanks to sdfatloss.com. Set up your free consultation at sdfatloss.com. You'll find out how it works, and you can take $200 off the program for listeners here at 97.3 The Fan during their summer special. All at sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Just a couple of other notes from Take on Woods. The last question, the answer was Wilco. I knew you were going to get that right because the first thing you said when we got to our hotel, looking across the street, you said, see those buildings that look like corn cobs?
Yeah.
That's like one of the most famous album covers ever. It's Wilco's album cover.
Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, and seminal record. And yeah,
So good.
the cool shot of kind of underneath the corn cob buildings. They're just fascinating. I never knew anyone that lived in there, but I really wanted to meet somebody that lived in there and go hang out and party up there because the buildings are incredible.
And then we also broke into our falsetto Chicago voices. But Peter Cetero,
he was in the band.
He was in the band since the 60s.
Yeah,
so.
67 they added him. And then the one dude died and they had a couple other people. And then Cetero went solo and did his thing. But I like his voice.
All right. Do you want to just break it out? 1, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I thought you were going to join me here.
All right. Everybody all at once.
3, 2, 1. Ooh, please don't go. No, just me. All right. Let's go a few blocks north of here. I don't know exactly where he is right at the moment.
Sorry,
but
Jesse.
Joining us right now on our SDCCU fan hotline is the voice of the Padres, Jesse Agler. It was great as we walked into Wrigley Field yesterday. First time I've ever been to the press box.
Yeah. Boom.
Jesse was sitting right there doing game prep, which I'm sure we interrupted, and he probably felt woefully unprepared for yesterday's game. I'm sorry, Jesse.
No, I was good to go. It was great to see you guys, and I hope you had a wonderful first Wrigley experience.
We did. It was truly incredible. It was very, very warm, as you know. Your booth and Don and Mud's booth are very, very slim.
Cozy.
Slim. Very slim.
Intimate.
Very intimate.
Very intimate. Yeah.
Warm. Yeah. Very warm. The press box, Paulie walked in, and Paulie goes, man, this would be a great place to cover a game. I go, are you out of your mind? It's 98 degrees, and they had one fan on the lake.
I said the view.
The view is great.
The view from the press box is as good as it gets.
As good as it gets. It was awful, man. It was excruciating, the heat. We had to get out of there. How'd you guys handle it?
I mean, you lived here. You know, this is one of those cities where, like, your ability to enjoy it is highly dependent on the weather.
Yeah.
And yesterday was one of those days.
That was tough, man. It was a tough game, too. Now, objectively, taking Padres fandom out of it entirely, it was a really good baseball game. If a couple of tourists were in town let's check out Wrigley Field, like, they were in for a treat because it was back and forth and super exciting. Thought we were going to get out of that in the ninth. Did anybody ever figure out, did Jace Bowen actually get glove on ball? Was it in his glove, or did it rattle around in the ivy first?
I think, in real time, I thought that he got some glove on it because it disappeared. And then I think the one replay that we saw afterwards, I think it actually was like a little bit behind his glove. But, that's the trick of Wrigley, is that you can never actually tell because the ball disappears into the vines and, like, you don't actually know. But I think maybe he might have overran it a little bit and it came behind him and into the leaves. But it might be one of those mysteries of baseball we'll never actually know. But a tremendous effort, unbelievable attempt, almost made what would have been one of the great catches in Padre history.
Yeah.
But not to be last night. I mean, yeah, like you said, it was a tense game. It's funny because outside of the weather, it felt like a continuation of the playoff series last year.
Yes.
Outside of the fact that the Cubs did not make every single play defensively as they did last October. But, it was just, the Padres are playing. It feels like every single game this year has been like that game. Tight, low scoring, stressful, high leverage relievers left and right. And, unfortunately unable to come up with that big hit.
So we saw one of those situations. I think it was Miguel Andujar who hit the double that bounced on the warning track and then just disappears into the ivy. Now, earlier in the show, I was accused by Woods of being pedantic because the small details sometimes matter. But I always appreciate, Jesse, when you say a ball hops over the fence, it's a rule book double because it's not a ground rule. That's the same rule on all the different ballparks. But when a ball hops into the ivy at Wrigley Field, that would be a ground rule double because they have specific ground rules due to the ivy at Wrigley Field, correct?
Yes. Now, look, the rule book double thing, I like that. That's kind of my own little tip of the cap to a guy who was a great mentor of mine, Dave Van Horn, who was the original voice of the Expos in 1969. And I think he did about 40 years with the Expos before he came to the Marlins. And I got to work with him with the Marlins for a few years. He would always say rulebook double. But the reality is a rulebook double and a ground rule double can be interchangeable because there are universal ground rules. So when a ball bounces on the warning track and goes over the wall, yes, it's a rule book double, but it's also a ground rule double because there are universal ground rules. So it works both ways. I just like saying rule book double because Dave would always say that. And that's my own little thing for Dave because it's a guy that meant a lot to me and taught me a lot about broadcasting baseball. But that's very much okay to say ground rule double. But you're right. Like with the Ivy, that is specific, of course, to Wrigley because there is no other place in the major leagues that has a brick wall covered with vines and leaves. So that is a ground rule double here at Wrigley. And I mean, how hilarious is it? It's so great. I love this place so much because like it's in like our modern brains when you think about it. You know, I mean, like if they built a ballpark today, of course, like you know, the A's are building their place in Vegas. Yeah. They're not going to have a brick wall in the outfield. No. And if they weren't going to cover it with leaves. You know, they're going to have a padded fence out there.
Cactus, yeah. Cactus would be
exactly. Like imagine, they're like, oh, it's the desert. We should just put a bunch of Suero cacti out in front of the wall in left field. Like it's fantastic. Like I just love that, you know, somewhere along the lines, you know, Major League Baseball didn't force them to put up a padded wall. And if they suggested it, the Cubs were like, absolutely not. We're going to continue to do this. And when you come here in April, you know, they're still dead from the winter and it's crunchy and brown. And like you can see the bricks, you know, through the back of it. And as an outfielder, you have to sort of know that it's going to maybe play a little bit differently in April and May than it is when they're lush and green, you know, during the summer. And it's just so fantastic and quirky. And that's one of my favorite things about baseball. And I think those of us who are big baseball nerds, you know, love that, you know, every stadium is a little bit different. Every stadium has its own little personality and that like, you know, when the wind is blowing out here, it's a totally different ballpark than when it's blowing in. And I love it. It's one of the things that makes this sport so great.
And Mudd mentioned that they will find dozens of baseballs at the end of the year when the Ivy goes dormant again, because, you know, batting practice, ground rule doubles during games, they don't get all of those. They just get stuck there for months.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it's the coolest thing ever. It really is. And by the way, I've said this on the air a couple of times. It's embarrassing, but like when I was a kid, you know, like WGN, of course, covered the Cub game. So like I'd get home from school. They always played, you know, day games during the week. And it was like, you know, I'm a big baseball dork. I would just flip it on. There's Harry Carey and Steve Stone. And I'd watch games because why not? You know, it was almost every day when they were home that, you know, I could just come home from school and watch a baseball game. And, you know, they would always talk about the Ivy. And like when I was, you know, 9 years old, the only ivy I knew was poison ivy. So I just assumed it was poison ivy on the wall at Wrigley. So I was like, oh boy, you can't touch that. You know, like it's the way they keep people away from the wall. So like as a little kid forever, I thought it was poison ivy on the fence at Wrigley, which is hilarious.
You know, I think we were all as kids. Were you ever more terrified of anything than quicksand and poison ivy? You built them.
No, those are the two. Yeah.
You built them up in your mind so much, and you would be with your friends. You're like, I'm pretty sure that's quicksand, so stay away, like, buddy. There's no quicksand by this creek in Texas. I promise you. Yeah. But the poison ivy fear of walking through the woods with your friends, you're like, we're dead. Like it's going to attack us. We are dead. And I got it once, and it wasn't great. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But that ivy,
you know, what's incredible? It's incredible now. Like even like my kids. Yes. Like, my daughter's 5. And like we have like, you know, we have a little lake kind of close to our house and we'll go like hike and walk around, you know, and explore over by it sometimes. And like there's like a little wooded area we go through and I call it the adventure trail, you know, to make it exciting for them. And she's, you know, like she's 5, like what does she know from anything? And like, you know, we'll walk through and there's some leaves and stuff that touch you. And every 3 seconds she's like, is that poison ivy? Is that poison ivy? I'm like, how do you even know what that is? And like, why are you worried about it? And no, it's not.
That's great to know that.
But also maybe it is. I don't actually know. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody actually knows what it looks like. But that ivy's it messes with the outfielders. It does. You saw Smod Taylor last night. Yeah. That's a play that guy makes. He makes it standing up at Petco. No problem. And it also, you know, you factor in the wind swirling out. I'm a little nervous about tonight's game. JP Sears is a fly ball pitcher. It's weird to go into a start going, well, this could be awesome, or this could be an absolute S show, depending on what the wind decides to do around Wrigley Field. But, you know, as I said about his last start, stranger things have happened. JP Sears can certainly get the job done tonight. But at some point, Jesse, and I know it's crazy. Griffin Canning was lauded for his 4 innings last night. Like, you're going to need more from your starters, especially tonight with some of the big dogs being down, maybe.
Yeah, you do. And look, there's two pieces of that. And I feel like we've had this conversation 100 times this year already. You'd love to be like, hey, just go give me 6, right?
Give me 6. Yep.
Don't get yourself in any trouble. Make it easy for Craig Stammen to leave you out there. But the other way that could happen is for the offense to jump out to a big lead.
Yep.
And, at some point you would like to see those guys kind of help, pick the pitching staff up a little bit. And I know it's easier said than done. But, the reality is last night, the reason Griffin Canning came out in the situation that he came out wasn't necessarily because of the way he was pitching. It was because, it was a 2-1 game. And if the Padres had had a 5-1 lead at that point, and they very well could have, based upon the traffic that they had put together, Craig Stammen is able to leave him out there. And, that's the other piece of this. And it's a team game. And I know we always kind of think about the individual matchups and this, that, and the other. But, had the Padre offense come through in a couple more of the opportunities that they had, they could have left Griffin Canning out when they ended up taking him out. And so, I know, look, there's responsibility for the starters for sure. But, when you're asking these guys kind of at the back end of the rotation who, you weren't necessarily relying on at the beginning of the year to eat up some innings, you would love to see the offense pick them up.
Yep.
And so, I look at it both ways. And you're right. Yes, I would love to see JP Sears go out there and make the start of his life. And maybe he will. He looked really good the other night. But if the offense can put up some big runs early, that makes it a whole lot easier to stick with the starter longer.
Jesse Angler with us on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking. It is better. It was good to see Jake Cronenworth back yesterday. Got to talk to him before the game. And would you agree, Jesse? Jake's not going to put the offense on his back. He's not that kind of offensive player, but there's a certain quality of at-bat that he brings that maybe the Padres have been missing, and that could be something that helps this offense going forward.
Yeah, he's a guy that, he's like a good connective piece in that lineup, right? He's a good like chain link guy. He's always the guy that's going to put together, it feels like, that 7, 8, 9 pitch at bat with a bunch of foul balls. He's going to make life difficult on a pitcher. Whatever the result of that plate appearance might end up being, he's going to make the guy work, which is, probably going to be something that helps out the guy who comes up next or the guy after that. And he plays great defense. So look, this team is better with Jake in the lineup. This team is better with Jake in the dugout, on the field defensively, in the clubhouse, all of those things. The reality is, if he is in the lineup, the guys that have been starting for him are on the bench. So the bench is better. It's got a trickle down effect as well. And he's an important piece for this team. Like you said, he's not going to go out there and hit 25 home runs in the second half or anything like that, but he makes everybody better by being around. He went through something really scary. I'm glad he kind of talked about it all, publicly yesterday. It had kind of been discussed privately prior to that. I didn't know how much of that he was going to end up sharing, but I'm glad he did, because, that stuff that doesn't always get talked about so much, and probably should get talked about a little bit more in sports, because, I think there's still, it's crazy that we're in 2026, but it still kind of feels sometimes like we don't talk enough about head injuries and sort of the after effects of that. And because of that, guys in Jake's position maybe don't have as much information as they should when something like that happens. And then, you start thinking about guys on the college level, the high school level, the youth level, who maybe, suffer some of these things and have some of these symptoms, and they don't realize it because we're not talking about it at the professional level. So, I do think there needs to be maybe more of an out loud conversation when these kinds of things happen, so that everybody has a little bit more awareness, and hopefully Jake's experience can be kind of a good teaching moment for a lot of people out there in sports, because this is serious stuff. This is real stuff. It had an impact on Jake, not just from like a baseball perspective. He talked about, his eyes, not tracking the baseball, and like he thought the pitch was a foot high. It ended up being right down the middle of the plate. But, he talked about how it impacted the way he was behaving and talking to people and kind of acting around his friends and stuff like that. I mean, that's real deal life stuff. So I was really, kind of thrilled and impressed that Jake kind of put himself out there like that yesterday too.
Jesse, last week you killed the incorporator with the Padres offensive mulm when you had your M word. So now it is time to give you your word that begins with N for the incorporator. Do we have it recorded somewhere here?
I've got it.
Okay.
Ready?
Numismatics.
Whoa.
Numismatics. It's the scientific study of coins and currency.
The scientific study.
Yes, numismatics.
So not like a coin collector.
I mean, a coin collector, it's beyond just simple coin collecting. It's numismatics.
Numismatics.
You really get into detail. So
okay, you've heard that
Love
before?
that. No, absolutely
of course
not.
not.
It actually to me,
rarely
sounds
has
like
he.
something that would start with P, not N. But I like that. Okay.
Yeah, numismatics.
Numismatics.
All
there
right,
it
Jesse,
is.
we'll be listening tonight.
Thank you,
5:05 again, first pitch in San Diego, 4:05 Eco Water SoCal. Pregame show. We'll see you at the game, Jesse.
Looking forward to it. Have fun, guys.
All right, buddy.
All right,
buddy.
Jesse at Wrigley Field again today, and we will be out there with our group. Looking forward to our first full game and tomorrow's day game to wrap up the series. Padres can still take that series. We'll come back. We got one more hour of Ben and Woods. Paulie's got some headlines in the Riley Report. We also have some Bill Burr comedy tickets to give away for Pechanga Arena. All coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour, Ben and Woods, day 2 in Chicago. We'll have one more day here in the Windy City tomorrow, including a Big League Wednesday. Brett Boone is going to join us, and we'll have an early SDCCU management report tomorrow, I believe at 8 a.m., Paulie?
Yes, sir.
Craig Stammen will join us from here in Chicago as well. Yeah, it would go well for Craig to win today's game.
Yeah.
Set himself up for a successful interview tomorrow with Ben and Woods before we leave town.
He didn't seem very happy to see us in the clubhouse yesterday. You notice that?
I didn't see him at all.
Yeah.
I saw him for just a second. He walked by.
Oh, hi. Oh, hello.
He was fine.
He's got pitching to think about. Now, we saw Ruben.
Kiss you on the cheek or anything.
Exactly.
Saw Ruben Niebla.
Yeah, Ruben's the best.
Which was great. Had a nice conversation with him.
He's the greatest, man. You're talking about his kid pitches now. And I said, man, your kid seems like he's shoving. He goes, yeah, it's weird because he finally, at like 18, hey, Dad, fine, I'll take your advice, right? Like, it's Ruben Niebla. He's like, and I go, you're joking. He goes, oh, no, finally. He's like, oh, maybe this guy's pretty good at this.
He knows what he's talking
maybe
about.
Maybe he knows a little something about this game and this art form. And his kid's doing really well. So we were talking about coaching and stuff. And you know, I shared with him some of my issues. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, you got to keep it positive, get the body language right. It's the most important thing. I was like, all right, I'm trying every day, Ruben, to do that.
I also noticed, because it really was your first time in the clubhouse all year. You don't go down to Petco Park to the clubhouse. And we were in there for less than 2 or 3 minutes. And Manny Machado came right up to you, dapped you up.
He did.
Gave you a little bro hug.
A little hug.
And I've been in the clubhouse many times at Petco Park this year, and I was not acknowledged by Manny at all. But right away,
tough scene, man.
It goes right up to Woods.
It was good to see Manny.
It was.
And then I felt like, well, is he going to like just leave me hanging? But he did then also dap me up. I guess if I'm with you guys, then I elevate to a higher status than if I'm there by myself with a camera, in which point Manny just treats me like the rest of the hoi polloi media.
I didn't want to be like a creep, but I am very fascinated as to guys' routines. I told the guys at dinner this last night as well. Thought this was pretty cool. Tiny little thing, but pretty cool. Manny walked up to his locker, and, you know, smaller clubhouse, all this stuff's kind of jammed in a locker. He's got the extra locker, as Xander does, and as Toddy does as well. If you need it, a little extra room.
It's the tiny flex that you.
It's the tiny flex.
Who are the superstar players that get the second extra empty locker next to their lockers?
That's right. That's right. So he walks up, and his nameplate is askew. It's a little bit more out this side than this side. So he walked up, he looked at it, and moved it back to make sure it was perfect. And I thought, that's a little thing that I probably wouldn't have noticed, that I probably wouldn't have done, but he moved it back.
Surprised TJ Laidlaw hadn't noticed that already.
Wanted it to be perfect.
But whatever.
Wanted it to be perfect. And then I watched him dress, and I was curious as to,
you pervert.
Does he put one leg into his pants after another?
It's funny. He jumps into both at the same time. It's wild. He actually has the clubbies put his pants on for him. No, he does one leg at a time. But what I didn't realize is he goes sliders, then pants, then socks, which I've never seen before. It's always sliders, socks, pants over for my whole life. My kids get dressed that way. He puts the socks on while his pants are already on, which I won't do I always put my socks on first.
Like just normal dressing.
Even if I'm dressing or if I'm dressing for baseball. Socks go on, then the pants go over.
I put the pants on first.
That's
and then
crazy behavior.
And it doesn't work very well because of my calves. And then I'm reaching I'm trying to get the socks in under the pants.
See, that's actually you're the one person on the planet where it might be the dumbest move ever.
It really is the dumbest move.
Because you put your pants on, you can't get the leg up, and now your socks are all scrunched up. You put your socks on first, then the
reason why
pants.
I do it is because I don't want to have to do two. So I have to sit down to do my socks. Then I have to stand back up to do the pants and then sit back down to do the shoes. I'd rather do the socks and shoes at the same time. So I can just
you hate bending down.
Sock, shoe, and one bend down session rather than 2 bend down sessions.
Yeah, it was a matter of happenstance that I was there. We were all huddled around Crony's locker, and I looked. He was right there in front of me, and I thought to myself, I'm going to see his routine. I want to see what one of the greatest third basemen of all time's routine is. And I go, well, apparently I've been doing it wrong. So he goes pants and then socks on. And it's amazing to me that you do that because it just doesn't make sense for you.
I know.
At all.
I realize it would be easier, but again, I don't want to do the double bending over for both socks and shoes and different
bending over.
I do hate bending over.
He really does.
One of my least favorite things to do.
I get it.
All right, let's get to some headlines to start our 9 o'clock hour. It is time for the Reindl Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hey guys, it's Paul here.
Hi, Paul.
All right. 2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah?
All right.
Hey guys, it's Paul here.
Hey guys, it's Paul here. All right.
All right. How we doing, gentlemen?
Great.
Happy whatever day it is.
It's Tuesday.
I think it's Tuesday still.
It's Tuesday.
We will get started here. A little World Cup. We talked about it briefly, I think, in our 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock hour. A couple of phenomenal games yesterday. Of course, we had Paraguay taking down Germany in penalty kicks. And then, I don't know, within 5 minutes of getting back to my room last night after drinks and every dinner, I saw that we were about to go into PKs again with that was Morocco and the Netherlands. So very exciting day in the World Cup. And I saw this. I believe it's real. And I think this is something that we need to normalize, not just here in America, worldwide.
I think they do
Such
worldwide.
a huge, well, yeah.
I think we're the only ones
only
that
here
don't.
in America.
Yeah.
Such a huge moment for Paraguay, taking down maybe not the favorite, but a favorite in Germany. They had no business winning that match. Big underdogs. And the president of the country declared today, Tuesday, a national holiday right after their historic win over Germany. And he knew everyone was partying. The party wasn't going to stop anytime soon. Everyone took advantage of it. The streets were flooded with people partying.
Now, did he let people know? He let people know, hopefully, last night. Continue to party.
Yeah.
Continue to rage. You don't have to go to work tomorrow. It's a national holiday. Instead of waking up in the morning and be like, hey, it's a national holiday. You can just sleep in.
Unless they work for Odyssey in Paraguay. They still have to work tomorrow.
President's like, hey, don't you want to serve your audience? We just had this huge win. Well,
you're not going to talk about it. The president just gave us the day off, Adam.
Adam, the president said we don't have to work.
Okay. You guys really don't want to.
If you hate your audience, that's fine with me, I guess. Yeah.
I think sports should have more holidays attached to them.
Agreed.
I think the day, the Super Bowl has to have a Super Bowl holiday, whether it's the Monday or move the Super Bowl to Saturday, whatever. Everyone should get a day off after the Super Bowl.
I hate to be the buzzkill, but how do you decide?
Do you hate to be the buzzkill?
Okay, I don't really hate to be the buzzkill. How do you decide on what's where? If the Super Bowl gets a holiday, like the Monday after the Super Bowl is a holiday.
Yeah.
Well, does the World Series get one? Is it just after the last clinching game? Does the NBA Finals get one? Because they're going to want one as well. Is it just for the teams who won in their cities, or is it for the whole country when it's over?
National championship.
So if we're just giving it for the Super Bowl, then the NFL has just bought itself an entire holiday without, for no reason at all. That
Works
seems
for me.
a little unfair. Now, if the U.S. won the World Cup for all of us,
right?
Should everyone get a holiday the next day? Because
That's
we're not that
4
many soccer
years.
fans.
How about
in this
your
country.
city? If you win the World Series or the Super Bowl
your
or the
city
World,
gets
the
the day.
NBA or whatever, then your city, you're the mayor or whatever, just goes party on, everybody.
Which is fine, but he doesn't really have the authority to give. You work for a national conglomerate, and he says, "Oh, the people in San Diego don't have to work today. Their team won the World
I'm celebrating
Series."
the Knicks. Are you kidding? Of course I'm taking the day off. I think there should be more holidays entirely. So I'm just always going to vote in favor of more holidays.
How many are we taking this week?
This week?
Yeah.
Holidays?
Yeah.
One.
Just the one on Friday.
One on Friday.
Right.
All right.
We will also be traveling on Thursday, but that's not a holiday.
That's not a holiday.
That's a work day. That's a travel day.
That's work. That's travel for work. That is a full day.
Yep, absolutely. That was the happy sports story. Very unhappy sports story, but important to talk about. Former NFL running back Chris Johnson revealed on Good Morning America yesterday that he has been diagnosed with ALS. He was running back for the Cardinals, the Titans, maybe the Jets, but mostly known with the Titans and the Cardinals. He had the 2,000-yard rushing season, unbelievable running back. And he was on national TV, Good Morning America. He wasn't able to talk. He was using some software that has previous recordings of his voice that the AI is able to communicate. But if you're watching, here it is. If you're listening, here it is. Good Morning America and Chris Johnson.
For me, it's shocking. It's hard to process it for me because I know you, Chris, from just the incredible athlete that you are. How do you process it?
Honestly, I don't know if you ever fully process it. At first, you're in shock. Then you realize you have two choices. You can give up or you can fight. I chose to fight.
And Brittany, what was it like for you when you found out that Chris had ALS?
All I could think about was our kids and how young they are. You're in denial. You want it to be anything else. You want the doctors to be wrong. The life that we previously had is like now a thing of the past, but we're still hopeful. We're hopeful, that a breakthrough will happen and that, God, a miracle will happen,
And what kind of support has helped you the most through this?
Without a doubt, my wife, Brittany, she hasn't left my side through any of this. My kids are also a huge part of why I keep going. Every day I wake up wanting more time with them to make more memories and just be their dad. They give me a reason to keep fighting. It's
brutal.
Love it.
It's just, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And God, I hope we can find a cure someday for ALS. It's just so
we've
awful.
made so many advances against so many diseases, AIDS, cancer. I mean, obviously there's not a cure for cancer, but treatments have, and they've been able to do so little against ALS in so many years. I mean, since Lou Gehrig, when he got it and everyone started calling it Lou Gehrig's disease, it's amazing how very little they've really been able to do in the century since that, which is just so sad.
It's a very rough sport, man. Yeah. It's a very rough sport.
And I don't know if they even know, you can attach football and head trauma to a lot of things, and they assume it is, but they don't even know exactly how that works yet after so much time.
Very, very sad.
Some breaking news here.
We will get to the breaking news. Yeah, big breaking news in basketball. Honestly, I don't know that this was totally expected. I think a lot of people were kind of on the fence about it, but Shams Charania from ESPN says breaking: LeBron James will continue his NBA career for the 2026-2020
Not
season,
retiring,
and has informed the Los Angeles Lakers that the franchise can move on without him because he will play elsewhere.
Is he going to the Warriors? We heard that rumor that they were interested. Is he going back to the Cavs one last
run?
His career in Cleveland. Where is he going?
Speculating Miami.
He should do a press conference.
Got Giannis.
Take his talents
to another. Be funny if he went somewhere nobody expected. I'm going to be
Portland.
I'm going to Portland. Yeah,
play with John Morant, who got traded to the Blazers.
True.
I'm guessing Portland is not in the cards for LeBron.
No,
playing for the cheapest owner in the NBA.
You have a ton more thoughts on that for now?
I will continue to say that LeBron, the fact that he is still playing at the high level that he is playing, long after all the greats, his careers have been over. This would be what, 24th season?
Yeah. You see all the pictures and videos. The 2016 championship Cavs team, they did a big 10-year reunion tour through Europe on vacation together, and they've all been retired for 8 years, most of them. LeBron's still playing. It was 10 years ago that they won, and he's still playing. It's crazy.
He wasn't a rookie back then either.
Do the Lakers, do they owe nothing to Bronny now?
Oh, I didn't think about the impact on Bronny. I would not want to I wouldn't feel comfortable if I was in Bronny's shoes at the moment. I think ultimately is probably a good thing for the Lakers. They can start moving on to the future and building around Luka and the way they want to build around Luka Doncic. But got the championship sort of in 2020 in the bubble.
That's counted.
Counts, sort of.
More than the Dodgers, I thought.
More. I mean, it was they had a good bubble going down there, but
They played the same number of games, didn't they?
I think it was a shortened season.
A little bit shorter?
Yeah.
All right.
Finally, I will wrap it up here with a little goofy story. One of my favorite movies of the last 20 years. Woodsy, I think you'll agree. Ben, I don't think you've seen it. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that one, Benny?
I have not.
Of course
Oh,
you
my
haven't.
God. Really?
So Benny
Is it
has
Jason Segel?
It is.
Yes.
All right.
Mila
Maybe I
Kunis,
have.
Bill Hader,
Bill
hilarious.
Hader's
Jonah
amazing.
Hill.
Yep.
It's so good. So part of the movie is Peter, the Jason Segel character. He has been working on this in the movie. His character has been working on a Dracula musical.
Yeah, the Dracula musical.
Like a comedy epic about Dracula. And he's working on it. And finally, the girl that he's interested in on the Hawaiian Islands,
Mila Kunis.
she's like, she signs him up, volunteers him to go on open mic night or whatever and sit down.
And if I see Van Helsing, I swear to the Lord I will slay him. Ha 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 ha! He's
So
taken
good.
from me, but I swear I won't let it be so.
Jason Segel's a phenomenal actor.
Talented.
I
He
watched
played
all
all
the
piano.
Drinking. I really enjoyed
Like,
him in that.
He probably, if you haven't seen a ton of his work, you maybe just think he's kind of a schlubby comedian or whatever. He's a very, very good actor. So it's crazy that movie is almost 20 years old now.
Yes.
I think it came out in 2008. And Jason Segel recently was doing an interview, and he's talked about he's really been wanting for a long time now to do a sequel to Forgetting Sarah Marshall that only focuses on the Dracula character, the Dracula story, and kind of turn that into the movie, like a musical of a movie.
I don't want to see it.
He says, we've been talking about it. I will tell you, that's all I can say. Yeah, every once in a while, I get an itch. I get the puppet because I still have him, and I go and perform live somewhere. But I still dream of doing the musical. I have an idea for how to do it, too. So we're getting there.
I don't want to see the Dracula musical on the big screen, I don't think.
I mean, once they made a musical about our founding fathers, I think pretty much everything's
Everything's
open
on the
for
table.
business now.
That's
So
fair. All
if
right.
you make it good, it'll be good.
Yeah.
If you make it bad,
But
it'll
he's
be
A lot
bad.
of movies are continuing, newer modern movies are becoming big Broadway shows like Mean Girls and Legally Blonde and stuff like that. So I guess why not Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
All right.
But
I would just like a sequel.
What about
Just a
Ben
regular
and
sequel?
Woods, the
The
musical?
musical. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. I think they did it on Stern recently.
yes,
We've stolen enough ideas from him.
Ronnie the Musical,
We'll have
Benny
to-
the Musical.
Benny the Musical would be just the greatest thing of all time. Of all time. I feel like I'd be doing the lion's share of the work on it too.
Some sort of robot song.
Yes,
and-
robot song and pedantic song. And well, he walks really weird, dresses funny. Chairman Mao hair, the whole bit. It's cheap. All right, I'm going to get started this
Paulie, see
afternoon.
if you can maybe make an entire song just out of the drops that you've
Oh,
saved.
easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Could make a whole album,
Yeah, you can make a whole. You can make a double album, double live.
collector's edition.
Thank you, Paulie.
You're welcome.
Paulie, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jalen Brunson is just invested in Just Salad. Isn't that the place that's just
Shut
downstairs
your
from
pie
us?
hole.
Yeah,
No, he has not.
Restaurant news. I just got this tweet. Just Salad wins investment from Knicks MVP Jalen Brunson. It's the first
That is bizarre.
restaurant investment for Brunson or Captain Clutch, who's become an equity partner in the fast casual salad chain just weeks after winning the NBA championship.
You are
We've got one
kidding
right
me.
here in
There's
this
one right
building
here.
below us. Just Salad. Still don't think we're going there, but
You think Jalen Brunson will be down there?
He could be down there
It's
today.
possible.
That is
Visiting
incredible.
one of his Just Salad restaurants here in Chicago. All right, we have some Bill Burr tickets to give away. We'll do that when we come back. Look ahead to the matchup for today's Padres Cubs game. Maybe we'll even spin a Chicago topic wheel coming up with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, listen, first, I miss my wife. I miss my kids, both of them, but I miss my Eco Water badly. And I'll tell you why. I have this jug that I bought a couple nights ago, and I've got this jug. You should see how creative I've had to be to fill it up. I had to get smaller water bottles to fill it up, put it in the fridge so it's cold. It's really become quite a science experiment, and it's a multitude of different waters mixed in there. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite when I travel because it's a melange of water. Yes, and I spilled some on the counter. Like it hasn't been great, but I'll get back in a couple days and fill my jug, fill my emotional cup too with Eco Water SoCal. We've got the system in our home. It's the MVP of our home. Certainly, they have been doing this since 1925, over a century of perfecting the soft life. They'll come out for you, do a free in-home water test, show you what's in your pipes, and ultimately what you're putting in your body. No guesswork, just facts. Their new systems feature smart leak monitoring with a whole home shutoff. They also have financing up to 84 months. That is a total no-brainer. We live it every single day in our home. Your home deserves a win. 760-350-3338, 760-350-3338, or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you there. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Broadcasting live from our Bill House Studios, We Know How, in Chicago, Illinois. You just ran, did you use the restroom during the break? See, now I went at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
You got to go through a couple of different doors and go around. But I wasn't sure. I just didn't want to get caught in a long segment. Like, you don't want to wait too long.
Right.
But I went a little too early. And I got there, and one of the other Odyssey people walked in with me at the same time and walked to the urinal next to mine, and I got the stage fright. Like, I didn't have to go badly enough to go.
So you didn't go.
So I was just standing there awkwardly, not doing anything. Yeah, I had to kind of fake it. Wow. Which is not fun.
You're a grown man. You couldn't get it out?
I know.
Do you ever do the tickle just to...
I try to think about water rushing.
Okay, that's one way. You can also do the tickle. It works.
I don't think that really helps me.
Try it.
All right. But it's been a long time since I had the stage fright and couldn't perform, as it were.
Normally, like if you're at a trough or something, I get it. Stage fright at a trough
but
is
I just
a real
knew it's
thing.
it's a walk. It's through a lot of things. I didn't want to wait too long and like, oh, now I got to make my way back there. So I went a little too early, and I wasn't ready yet.
Do you have to go now?
I'm fine.
I got
okay,
a story
actually.
I can tell for the next 3 minutes.
I'm all right.
It's funny. I was going to bring this up. When we went up to the booth yesterday, we just saw Judson. Judson popped in again. He was on our show yesterday. Judson Richards he was in San Diego for many years.
WBBM News Radio.
That's right. And so now he's here in Chicago, and he's going to be doing pre and post tonight. And we heard a story last night that I thought was appropriate to share. I'll have to clean it up a little bit for the airwaves, but it's a great story apparently about Harry Carey, legendary voice of the Chicago Cubs. We saw Harry Carey's restaurant last night. Harry Carey is still an icon in this town and always will be. So Boog Shambi, who is now back with the Cubs, he was off this week. So we wanted to say hi to Boog last night, but he's off for this series.
Still does ESPN national games.
Sure does.
On the weekends as well.
But he tells a story about his first day covering the team, the Chicago Cubs. It's opening day. It's about 33 degrees, wind whipping around. It's freezing cold. Everyone's bundled up. Harry's bundled up. Everyone's got hats on and jackets and sweatshirts and sweaters. And he goes, I go into the bathroom. It's my very first day on the job covering baseball. Finally, I'm in the hallowed grounds of Wrigley Field.
Like everything else at Wrigley Field. The bathroom's pretty small.
And it's probably double the size it used to be when this happened. And
but there's room for maybe two people in there.
Maybe
in the men's room. Yeah.
And he is standing at the urinal, and he is doing his business. And in walks Harry Carey. And Harry Carey looks and sees him at the urinal, so pushes his way into the stall. And Boog's like, oh, my God, that's Harry Carey. He's in the crapper right now. This is unbelievable.
Me and Harry
Carey. And he says he just hears out of nowhere, fumbling around. I've got so many layers on, I can't even see my D. And that's the first interaction that he ever had with Harry. Before he said, hello, nice to meet you, I'm Harry. I got so many layers on, I can't even see my D. And Boog's like, oh my God.
What a welcome to the Cubs family.
Zips up, walks out of the bathroom and was like, this is the greatest job of all time. And we heard some more stories that we can't repeat, but like, it's to be up there to hear that story is incredible.
Harry Carey is so beyond caricature, legendary of his own self. But I feel like all the stories were pretty much true.
Yeah.
I mean, the Coke bottle glasses, the Budweiser that he would drink during the games. He was 2, 3, a few sheets to the wind.
Every game.
Like every game. And it was just what was done and what was accepted. Like Harry's broadcasting this game semi or more than semi drunk most of the time.
Which is incredible.
And that was like okay back then. Can you imagine
it's
like Jesse doing a game?
I can't.
Just tipsy the entire time. It's just not going to happen.
I can't imagine it, but it just again, to be up there. To be up there in that area, there's photos of him and Jack Brickhouse and all the legends.
They have so many of the Ford Frick like broadcasting award winners, in Chicago, there's like a wall of them over the centuries of just the greats that have called Cubs games.
I remember thinking about it when we stepped into Citizens Bank Park last year in Philly, and you're like, man, there's been some big moments here. Like, this is cool. But walking into Wrigley and looking around, it's that times 10. I mean, the history here, you just like, you feel it when you're walking around. You just feel like you're in this holy place.
Yeah,
it's
it is. It's truly a holy place.
Like, I can't wait for the 7th inning stretch tonight.
If you've never been here before and you're like, oh man, I got a really bad ticket. It's the last row in the building. It's the highest row you can go. It's like the greatest view you'll ever have.
Picture like a phenomenal Toyota Terrace level seat at Petco Park.
Yeah,
and
don't
that's
feel like
about
you're far
how far
at all.
you are in the final row of Wrigley Field.
I did it yesterday.
It's so brilliant.
Now, there are some seats you can't see the game because you're right behind
pole.
a pole.
Yeah.
The obstructed view seats are real.
It's a real thing. No, I can't wait for tonight, man, to be in we went there last night, but to be able to go to the game tonight and tomorrow is going to be special. Hopefully we get a win tonight. Who's on the bump tonight, Benny? It's
JP Sears against Matthew Boyd.
Sears against Boyd.
Padres put 5 runs up on him at Petco Park earlier this season. It was the game they won 9-7.
Okay.
But then he went on the injured list, just came back in his last start. I think he pitched like 4 shutout innings just in his return. So we'll see what he has in his second start, but they have seen him once this season and performed fairly well against him.
Great. Need one tonight.
Yeah. And they need another good one from JP Sears like last time.
No question.
But he won't have the benefit of Petco Park and the Marine Lair.
He will not.
He'll have hot weather, Wrigley, and potentially like yesterday,
wind blowing out.
Although who would have picked? Like, if you had told me what's the final score going to be, I put a video up 2.5 hours before the game of the wind whipping those flags straight out. Griffin Canning is on the mound. By the way, Shota Imanaga, most home runs allowed per 9 innings of any starting pitcher in baseball that's qualified this season.
Oh, perfect.
You were thinking, this is going to be 15-12, 3-2.
3-2.
You just never know.
You can't predict baseball. You just can't.
Never know. All right, before we take our final time out, let's give away some tickets. Bill Burr is coming to Pechanga Arena on July 31st, about 1 month from now. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. But if you're the 5th caller at 833-288-0973, 5th caller, 833-288-0973, Kyle will take your call. We will pick a winner for you, send you to that Bill Burr show at Pechanga Arena on July 31st. We will come back, wrap things up for Ben and Woods from Chicago, Illinois on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Been nice to know. He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Better Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Just reading through Kevin Acey's newsletter this morning, and we didn't have a lot of details. In fact, I hadn't even seen the play because we were at dinner when Manny Machado tried to tag out Nico Horner, I think it was, at second base, and then was late on his throw to first.
He was well on the bag and standing there.
And so I finally watched the play. Have you seen it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so, and, even Don said, why is he tagging him? That's kind of a big mistake. And Manny, as he always seems to, has an explanation that we're really not thinking of. And while it didn't work out very well in this case, he says, okay, if Horner, he's one of their most aggressive guys. And Manny has, of course, as he's manning the shortstop position, he's left third base totally
wide
uncovered.
Open.
And he goes, if I don't do that, Horner is going to take third. He'll be there with one out, even if I get the runner at first. So then they can score a run with an out from third. So I want to keep him at second base. Now, obviously, I don't want to extend the inning and give them another out. Right. And I was still trying to get the out at first, and it came too late. So he acknowledged that it wasn't an ideal play.
But it was more about keeping him at second. But it was more about
keeping Horner at second and not getting to third with less than 2 outs where they can score without the benefit of a base hit.
Interesting.
And these are all the things that go through his head in a split second, as, a very weird play that no one's covering second, no one's covering third. He's got the ball, and he thinks, Horner's aggressive. He might even turn and I could tag him out if he tries to do that because he doesn't know I'm there. He thinks I'm throwing to first. So
pitcher needs to then potentially.
Yeah, and Xander was actually covering and sprinting along on the backside.
Got in his way.
That's a tough play as well for if Horner and Xander are both running
same time
to race each other to third base. That's an odd play to make. Sometimes the left fielder kind of backfills as well, but those are some of the nuances of infield and defensive play that Major League Baseball teams think about.
Ben, they're the things that keep me as a coach up at night thinking, where do I send these guys half the time? The basics.
If there's a Little League game on that, you're forgiven. This is advanced stuff.
In Little League, it's you get that ground ball, you throw that ball to first. Don't worry about that guy. We're collecting outs here, buddy. But it is. There are certain things where you look at and you go, where should he be? What could he be doing? Base, ball, or backup is kind of my route. You're at a base, you have the ball, or you're going for the ball, or you're backing up a play. I don't ever want anybody standing around. That is a really interesting one. And like you said, having to access that in your mind of like, oh, Horner is a guy that will absolutely take that bag. I got to keep him here. Bummed you didn't get the out. You keep the double play in order. They got out of it, no problem. Didn't get hurt in that scenario, but it certainly does put a little more pressure on Wrigley at that point to get the job done. But yeah, man, it's a real interesting sport. It looks so slow until you're down there and somebody says, "Hey, where should I be here? What should I do on that play?" Right?
And
where
if you don't react correctly, instantaneously, I always think of the pitcher covering first, and it's as basic as it gets, really. Hey, if it's hit to the right side, you got to be first. There. But if you hesitate at all, for whatever reason, these are fast Major League runners, most of them, and they will beat you to first base if you hesitate at all.
We were watching a game the other day, and it was one of those day games where it's fairly quiet, and you could hear things on the field. And so it was ground ball over to first, and you hear, I think it was Duran, get over, right? So I go, Bo, come in here. Rewound it. I go, I want you to listen for something. And he heard it. And he goes, who's telling him to get over? I go, catcher, Durant. He's telling him at the big league level, a guy that's been doing this for 20 years, get over. Still need the reminder to do it. I want you to talk when you're on the field, communicate. They still do it at this level, even though they're pros. And it's a really interesting thing. It did, in the moment, look like, what in the world are you doing? Get the out, but keeping him off third. Scoring on a sac fly, that could have been the difference in the game.
On the other end of the coin, they're Major League Baseball players, and every once or twice a season, you see a base runner who forgets that there's only one out and starts running on a fly ball.
100%.
I feel like it happened last week, and I can't remember to who, but he was at first and fly ball, and he's already around third. And they're like, dude,
they're like, buddy,
there was one out. That was where are you going?
It's it really is it can be so simple at times, but it's also so confounding when you really break it down. There's a guy on Instagram, you might have seen him. He's a coach, and he has developed this app, and it's balls hit here. Where do these guys go? And it's kind of like a little quiz. Of course, he wants you to buy the app, and I'm legit thinking about it because it's really good information. But you think you know where to go. You think you know where the cut is supposed to be, and you really don't. There's a lot that goes into it.
Do you want to spin the topic wheel
spin it.
once or twice before the end of the show? All right, we're going to need Kyle to do that for us.
I did not bring the topic.
You didn't bring it with you?
Bring the
Oh,
topic.
I thought you brought it.
Kyle's got it in the studio.
Kyle's got it? All right. It's hard to get that thing across country.
Nicely done, Kyle. Sounds like a good, solid spin.
Very good.
Would you rather have unlimited time or unlimited money?
Unlimited time or unlimited money?
Ooh.
Unlimited money.
Yeah.
No.
Unlimited time?
Unlimited time.
Like on Earth?
Yeah. If you had unlimited time, you will eventually get yourself unlimited money.
Does that mean
figure it out?
Like you live forever?
I don't want that.
Or like unlimited time, or like you have all the time in the world.
I'd like to think unlimited time is like, yes, I mean, I'm not doomed to, wander through the wastelands in 10,000 years or whatever when humanity's gone, but like I can have as much time as I want. Like you're not going to cut me off short. I can remain young and productive and in my prime forever.
Are you in your prime right now?
That's a good question for the topic.
Wheel. Are you in your prime?
When were you in your prime? I mean, there's different levels of prime.
No,
physical
really
prime, mental prime.
You know what I've thought about?
Earning prime, like right now, probably, in my prime when it comes to like work and what we do for a living.
Agreed.
Physical prime, it's weird.
I've never had one. Never had a physical prime.
In many ways, I'm in much better shape than I was for like 15 or 20 years before these last 3 years, losing some weight. But clearly, like, you're never going to be probably better off than you were like in college and just.
I was a rail though. Like I was a skinny rail.
Stronger now. Oh, much stronger.
Much stronger now, but fatter. I've never had a prime. Like I don't ever look back at old pictures and go, man, I wish I looked like that. Because I didn't like the way I looked then. I was too skinny.
I was thinking about this recently. Like, I think we all have, nobody knows what happens when you die, but we all feel like, our family, our loved ones are waiting for us and we're going to party. And I was thinking, what form would I be? Like, are you the old man if you died peacefully as an old man, or if you got an accident in your 30s, are you in your 30s? Do you go to your prime?
You go to your prime. Me at 21.
Like that's your eternal form.
But when like Obi-Wan Kenobi shows up as a ghost in Star Wars,
he's the old man.
He's old man. Why wouldn't he be the young,
handsome,
Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor, right?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. If he died, you might as well go back to your younger self.
No, so do you think like what was your prime, or have you not hit your prime?
It's just weird. Like mentally, I could remember things so much. Probably high school, but wisdom wise, I would say like now I have much more wisdom in terms of emotional stability and health than I had when I was younger.
I think
but physical prime,
money,
like 20, 21, 22 was probably my physical prime.
Yeah, I was like 18 to 20, like 19 to 21, call it. But I think I would go with unlimited money, because if you have unlimited money, you can create unlimited time.
You can create a lot more time.
You don't have to do anything.
That's
if you
right.
have unlimited money.
That's right. No, you have no stress. None. Unlimited money.
You can do whatever you want every day.
Be great, but wouldn't it be horrible? You have unlimited money and you realize, but my time is now short and I can't enjoy my time.
Why is it any shorter than it already is?
Because perhaps you contracted a disease that you can do nothing about. And
just counting your money all day. Time to do everything. Now I'll take the money.
Huh.
We'll buy a lot of baseball cards.
Oh, so many baseball cards. I'll have everybody know, including my wife who's probably listening, we haven't opened one pack of baseball cards.
Not one.
This trip.
Because I haven't found any yet.
Will attest to that.
I haven't found any.
Because we haven't found any.
I haven't watched them like a hawk every moment, but I don't think they've slipped away. I haven't seen a lot of like Googling card shops near me.
No, nothing.
Or anything like
focused on the moment, being in the moment with the listeners and the tier ones, and that's what it's all about.
Haven't accidentally passed any either.
No.
Like in San Diego, you would have walked around. You probably hit 3 or 4 card shops by now. I have not noticed any here in Chicago.
One of the tier ones, Jeremy said he knows a spot. So maybe today.
So there has been discussions of it.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Of course we've talked about it. Of course we have. One more spin.
I don't know.
Let's do a quick spin.
Right, really quick spin.
Sit and spin.
What's the scariest animal that is almost completely harmless to humans?
Ooh, a scary animal that's like a raccoon.
Oh, they're harmful, I think, aren't they?
I don't think so. I think they're actually very beneficial.
They're scary when they're on your back porch.
They're terrifying.
They'll rip
like
your
a
eyes
possum
out, though,
or a
I feel
raccoon.
like. Yeah,
no, I don't think so. I think they're actually good for the environment.
Whales
they can harm you.
Beautiful. Though.
So those, like, I think whales are cute. I think the
gentle
whales are the opposite. They're the animal that you look, oh, that looks so adorable, but they could absolutely
Destroy
end
you
in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there are animals that are frightening looking that really aren't harmful at all.
I don't know. I'm blanked.
Pit bulls.
No, they can harm, they can harm you.
They can harm you for sure. Yeah, I'm going to go with like a possum. I see one of those out in the yard because we get them on our fence, like in the back fence.
I was thinking like a sloth.
And I see them, their eyes are like glowing and looking at you, and they terrify me. But I really don't think they're dangerous whatsoever.
Yeah.
Octopus is a good one in our chat from Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Octopuses are actually very smart.
They're very smart.
In fact, I saw scientists believe like when humans go extinct, octopuses will build the next society.
It's octopi.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you. Pedantic of you.
Very pedantic indeed.
Of you to end our show today, Woods.
Yes, turnabout is fair
All
play.
right, we're going for some pizza in Chicago with tier ones, and then we'll be out at Wrigley Field later today, and we will rejoin everybody tomorrow
Thanks, Kyle.
at 6 a.m. with Craig Stammen joining us at 8. Thank you to Kyle back in the studio, executive producer Paul Reindl. For Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Frank and Braden coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.